Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good Monday out there. I hope that the positive and profitable spirit is with you as we start this Q4 of 2019. I know for a lot of people that's working in sales, you're working at a corporation, you're looking for that big bonus, so you're trying to start this quarter off strong so that you could end the year with a big bonus. And I just want to encourage you and wish you all the best because, like I said, man, if you're doing any kind of sales, this is usually a great time to reach out to clients and end users that you might have reached out to earlier in the year, but because their budgets were fresh, they had a certain kind of agenda and they weren't willing to like buy whatever you happen to be selling or talk to you. But one of the things that I've noticed is that when you reach out to companies between October and November, right before the holidays, a lot of them, depending on how their corporation or their firm works, they have to use up their budgets before the end of the year or risk getting a smaller budget from upper management the following year. So a lot of times when you're going through your cold call list, this is a great time to try to make a sale. So if you're in the sales game or you're in any kind of industry where it's like bonus based on your quarterly earnings or whatnot and quarterly sales, this is the time to get it done over the next 45 days. And I know from experience, I've made a lot of sales between October and Thanksgiving. And I never could understand until I started looking into how a lot of these companies and firms budgets work. Because what will happen is that if, let's say that a department has a $1 million budget to start the year, if they don't use all of that budget, at some firms, the management will say, well, you requested $1 million budget, but you only used 700,000. We need to give you another 700,000 next year and take that 300,000 that we gave you last year and apply it to another department that could actually use it. So don't underestimate how that works. But anyway, I decided to like do this live cast because I was looking at Twitter, and shout out to the homie Black Male First Media, otherwise known as Sir Trix-a-Lot. He had a stream thread going on Twitter that really caught my eye because earlier I was on a great panel over at Mr. Fantastic channel. You guys go check it out, support and subscribe to that brother, Mr. Fantastic. It was a very heated kind of panel. It was a long panel. It was very heated, but at the end, as usually with these kind of panels, it's mostly constructive information being exchanged between the brothers. So that's a good thing. So I had watched a video that the brother David Carroll had put out on Saturday, and he was going in and giving his opinion on the Amber Geiger trial. And so if you know about David Carroll, he has two versions that he puts out, one for YouTube, which is like a PG version, but then he has what he calls the rabbit hole that's offsite over at the Black Avenger, or he'll send it to you as an MP3. But you can find a lot of his content over at Black Avenger TV. But in the rabbit hole, he goes straight R-rated. He gives his real truth and the facts about whatever the topic is. And he was just going in so hard on the core problem of why we have these Amber Geiger type minstrel shows. And so on the back of that, every once in a while I check Twitter during the week, and I just happen to be looking at the Joker reviews. I like to get a pulse on different current events in the 9 areas of human activity. So I kind of oscillate between like the mainstream media and then the social media to compare how the mainstream media pushes one narrative versus how the everyday consumer and citizen is reacting. So the Joker movie was a great example because that was something that the mainstream media was pushing this narrative that there was going to be all this violent outbreak if they allowed the Joker movie to be successful. But what it was is that a lot of times critics get access to movies before the regular population does, and they try to like kill movies or push certain movies depending on their own personal politics. And we know with a lot of these social justice warriors, they've been taking a lot of L's in 2019. And it really started with the Gillette situation where they lost that $8 billion during the first half of the year. And they had to like toss out the whole marketing campaign that was created by this feminist that they hired and her staff, and they're out the door, and that CEO might be out the door. But then you had last month, or back in August, you had Netflix release a comedy special by Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle, he just went straight R-rated. He threw off the political correctness, and he was going in on this social justice warrior censorship culture completely. I very much recommend that you guys go look at the series of Dave Chappelle's specials that are available on Netflix right now, because that also is what happened with the Joker. If you understand kind of what's been going on since 2019, the major media isn't paying enough attention, but there is a groundswell at the grassroots of people that are rejecting this social justice warrior censorship culture. And again, this weekend, the Joker broke records, 96 million, the biggest opening of any movie in October's history. Think about that for a minute. A movie that the critics and the mainstream media was trying to attach to some imaginary toxic masculinity that they keep running with, some imaginary incel debate. They did all they could to torpedo the Joker. It got to the point that the director of the movie and Joaquin Phoenix himself, they got fed up with these critics and these social justice warrior, and they were going on interviews, cutting the interview, getting up and walking out, and they started hitting back themselves. But boy, the Joker got the last laugh on this one, man. 96 million opening weekend. And according to the stats, that's the best opening in the history of any movie in October. So, you know, this whole social justice warrior campaign is on its last leg. So one of the things that's been a part of this whole social justice warrior narrative over the last 10 to 12 years is the slow and very public and aggressive alienation of Black men, right? So if you've noticed, ever since 2008, it all started with like that Barack Obama election, where there was this attempt to elevate other groups ahead of all Black people, but within the American Blacks, to put the American Black woman in front of the Black men, to the point where it's almost like the Black male has become invisible in America unless there's some reason for someone to be denigrating in public and dismissing us. So I'm checking through Twitter after looking at some of these Joker reviews, and I'm clapping or whatever, because I'm like, wow, you know, 96 billion or whatever it was. I think it was 96 billion, I guess. Someone correct me in the chat, but yeah, like 96 billion or whatever. But it was the biggest October opening of any movie in history. So that was a big fuck you to the social justice warriors and the censorship police. So I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see that Sir Trix-a-Lot, you know, I follow him on there, and he's always posting things related to like, you know, this misandry against Black men. And he came across a tweet that was going on where apparently this white girl, I'm going to bring her up on the screen, what happened, so you guys get the background. So this white young lady on Twitter had been at the University of Tennessee football game over the weekend, I guess. And of her own volition, it had nothing to do with no Black men. It had nothing to do with no Black men. But she, on her own account, you know how they have these like Lonely Heart ads that used to go out in the newspaper? Well, now they do the Lonely Hearts vibe on social media. They'll sometimes take a Snapchat or they'll take a picture of someone in public that they saw, post it to their social media, and ask the world, hey, did you see this person that I found attractive? I'd like to see them again. So it just went from the paper format of the Lonely Hearts Club to digital format. So this American white chick, she saw a Black man at the University of Tennessee game in this picture that she was crushing on. And so she posted on her Twitter, hey, everyone help me find this man I saw at the football game. I want to go on a date with him. So it's this young Black man, and she's grinning and ready to, you know how it is. Anywhere we go, we don't got to do anything. It just kind of falls in our lap. But she was just letting it be known, hey, you know, she's really interested in this dude and she wants to get at him. and she wants someone to make it happen. And so this, of course, created like a firestorm on social media. Anytime a black man gets any kind of praise, attention, whatever, he don't even got to be guilty of anything. He could just be desired by a non-black woman, and it's like all the alarms in society go off. So just remember, this was just some random white female doing some Lonely Hearts application type stuff. That's always been going on in society. But it's just that now people do it on social media. And this triggered hundreds of people, thousands of people. So let's go through the stream that Sir Trix-a-Lot was retweeting to see the comments. Just looking at the comments. So I want to give you guys, I've done it before where I've given you the definition of misandry and misandry. And I want to give it to you again because I want you to have this definition fresh in your mind as you read the kind of comments. This is 2019 and this is happening, man. On the back of that whole Amber Geiger trial with the minstrel show that happened there and just the general disregard for black men. Just remember what misandry is. So it's a dislike of, a contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against men. Black misandry would be a dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against black men. And it manifests itself through social exclusion, social isolation, sexual discrimination, hostility towards the male sex, gynocentrism, matriarchal rule, belittling of men, violence against men, and sexual objectification of men. That's your basic definition of misandry. Now let's go through these comments so you can see why this is just something I had to share with everyone, because I need you people that are still on the fence about what's going on in modern America in regards to how the society treats men, but specifically how black men is always a negative. We have to always be beaten down, beaten down, beaten down. We can never be, we're not even able to breathe. I even have something that I say, it's called breathing while black male. Breathing while black male has become a crime, right? And one of the biggest enemies of breathing while black male is the American black woman. She's a stooge. She's literally become a stooge at large for the white dominant society, whether it be white feminists, whether it be white male cucks, whether it be outright white redneck racists. They have become a willing stooge of anything that will help them undermine black men, because somehow they see themselves as separate from black men. But when everything comes back full circle to them based on the decisions, then they want to bring the black men into it. So let's look at some of these tweets. So here's a female in response to like that white girl. These girls just all out of nowhere started coming on this white chick's page because she had a crush on this black man. So right here, seeing a fine ass white boy with a mixed baby, right? In all honesty, my kids will be half white and I will marry a white boy. These black boys are just for fun for now. This is the kind of, this goes to that sexual objectification piece. And this is one of the more mild comments, right? But this is how they have see you now, black men. You've allowed yourself to get into a position where everyone feels 100% confident shitting on you. If a black American woman had posted something like that, or it was a white girl, someone, or a white man, everyone will come to their defense. People get fired. But it's shitting season on you as a black man. And like David Carroll would say, it's your fault because you sat by and let this shit happen. So let's go through some of the more malicious ones. So here's another young black cunt. Nope, leave him alone. Now she's responding to the white girl. This white girl ain't asked none of these broads for their opinion. She was at a game. She saw a black man she was attracted to, and she tried to shout him out to get a date with him. All these black women are all across coming into her comments telling her, nope, leave him alone. You'll ruin his life, and he got a lot going for himself without you, right? So she don't know this dude, but it's okay for her to have this kind of hatred. But it's going to get more interesting, right? Just watch. So the same girl, now, check it out. Let's go back. Nope, leave him alone. You'll ruin his life, and he got a lot going for himself without you. Oh, but the same Misandry, look at what she has to say about black men on her page. I need a country sexy white boy. Wear your camo to bed laughing out loud. See, you see what I'm saying? This is how they see you. So they can sit up there and throw themselves at white men. But you can be minding your own damn business, and some white woman or Asian woman thinks you're attractive, and they gotta say something about it, right? Let's see what else. Okay, here she go again. This white boy sexy as hell in his James Jersey head ass, laughing my ass out. So she just on some straight up white male worship tip, right? But when she saw a white woman crushing on a black man, she ready to go to war. She ready to go to war for that. So let's continue to the next example. And shout out to Valon10i, because he was the one that was retweeted. Thanks for providing this great evidence. So here's another black woman wearing an Indian woman's hair hat. She says, nah, Sarah Grace, we know how this movie turns out. Yeah, that's going to be a no from me. Notice how all these American black women are responding when no one asked them for their opinion. And they're the ones that are the white worshipers. But the same, you got the same American black woman says, and I love them white boys. Oh, laughing out loud. White men love me. So they're talking about how the white men love them and they love them too, right? But the same women will go at any woman that would dare show interest in black men. So let's go through this thread. And a shout out to Sir Trix-a-Lot again. Thank you for posting this, because we need to record this type of stuff. We need to have a record of this. So when these old fogies ass niggas come to you telling you, why aren't you dating my daughter? Why aren't you marrying my daughter? Because you raised a bunch of stooges, cunts. That's why no one wants your daughter. That's why black men are saying SYSBM, and that's why they're waving their passports in the air. That's why free-thinking brothers are saying, I'm not listening to what you communists are telling me. You want to police me. You want to exercise a sexual communist state on me, but you're not doing the same to the other side. You're not offering me anything. Your feminine product coming out of your household is trash. These women that you want me to have, they're not competitive. They hate me. And not only do they hate me and have contempt for me, they're willing to show to the world how much they hate me. They're willing to go to the person that you yourself, Grandpa, is saying is my enemy. White supremacy, white supremacy. Well, why is your granddaughter out here waving the flag, the Confederate flag, harder than anybody? Why is your great-granddaughter or your granddaughter out here throwing herself at the feet of white men for the whole world to see? They don't answer that question, though. So let's go to the next example. So here's some other chicks responding to her. Everyone is saying no. But if she would have circled the white guy, you'd all be for it. Everyone is screaming they want racism to end. Then you all turn around and act like this. Love is love. Damn. See what I'm saying? Now, no, the fuck we wouldn't. Black people will scroll on by because that ain't our business what the Blancos wanna sow between them. So I mean, the grammar is all off on this one, but basically they're going back and forth about this is a white girl going back and forth with a black woman. So you saw already that the black woman she's okay saluting white men and pedestalizing them and telling them how great they are. But the moment that a white woman privately said, hey, somebody help me out, they all in on her. So go to the next one. But the same woman, okay, see, here it is. See, the same woman that's going on here talking about no, the fuck we wouldn't. Black people will scroll on by because that ain't our business what the Blancos want to soak between them. Grammar is all fucked up for the most educated women on the planet. Now look, there's the evidence, her own social media. The same black woman telling these other women, don't talk to black men. I want to be a white man's whore so bad. Oh my God. Whoo, man. Who raised these women, bro? I want to be a white man's whore so bad. So let me go back. I want y'all to see it again. The same woman that said what she said, read it for yourself. The same woman yesterday. But she wants to be a white man's whore so bad. Let's go to the next case. What do we got here? Oh, no, ma'am, I fixed it for you. So in this one, the American black woman, I don't know if that's her real hair or not, but typically we could just take the guess and say that if you flip the quarter, you'll say it's not. She's wearing, looks like an East African woman's yaki. So she says, oh, no, ma'am, I fixed it for you. So in this one, she scratched out the picture of the black gentleman minding his own damn business and circled the white boy. Now, that was yesterday, right? Let's see what this white male worshiper has to say on her timeline when it's about a black woman's right to choose. Let's see what she got to say. Oh, y'all sleep on white men G's. Y'all sleep on white men G's. Oh my God. So it's not, so the white girl can't say to the other white girl, y'all sleep on black men G's, right? They go to war. But it's okay for the black woman to say to the world every day, y'all sleep on white men G's. There you go, people. The evidence. They choke themselves on their own with their own rope. They try to come at the black thinking man because we just accept the facts for what it is. I say to the American black misandrist, fuck who you want to fuck. But your days of policing what black men do are over. We've already silenced most of y'all drones. They don't got no more arguments. The dick police narrative is dead. You got people that's going to try to keep collecting pennies, but the shit is dead for the most part. So these women, they little police and they little duplicitous game is over with, where they can say on one hand, black power, but then at the same time, they're knobbing off some white boys. They got a whole bunch of white boys in their body count. If I was a white KKK member, I would know for a fact you don't got nothing to worry about. Most of these black Americans, they're doing all y'all dirty work for you, from the social to the economic to the militaristic elements of violence. Black people themselves are doing so much of the work for them. They don't got to do shit. You got these women throwing themselves at the feet of these white men, but they'll go out there and tell you black men, go fight a race war for me. You go ahead and you dumbass niggas and go do what they want you to do. Let's go to the next case. Man, shit just gets more and more interesting reading this from their own mouths. So look at the name Gunplay Lexi. That violent, that violence in some of these females, the masculinity. Sarah, she says, Sarah, bitch, I know you don't see color. Leave our men the fuck alone. They're not made for you. That is so interesting. So in Black America in 2019, there's no sexual contract. There's no social contract. Black women make it clear that they're the free agent to the world. And her only complaint is that pussy, she wants that free agent pussy, that most free pussy to be, she knows it's available to the world, but she's mad because other men aren't choosing that free pussy at a rate that would make her happy. That's her only complaint. But when it comes to any other race of woman choosing a black man, whether he knows that she's interested or not, this is what this woman has to say. Sarah, bitch, I know you don't see color. Leave our men the fuck alone. They're not made for you. Well, I can only speak for myself as an American black man, but I don't have any ownership, no jurisdiction, and no authority over the American black woman. And she damn sure don't have any over me. In fact, she was never under my jurisdiction. She was never under my authority. She is, and I am as well, products of this system, socially engineered. But now as we get closer to actually being able to make our own decisions and choose wisely and choose efficiently for ourselves, now they want to try to claim some kind of ownership over black men. Y'all ain't never tried to have ownership over black men until black men themselves got free enough economically and politically where we can go make our own decisions and vote with our wallet and exercise our rights as free people. Now, let's see what this woman who's calling a woman she don't even know a bitch, talking about her men. This same woman probably rejects 10,000 black men a day on her Instagram. But let's see what her timeline tells us about her white male worshiping ways. Oh, the same woman calling other women bitches and talking about our men. So here's a hood chick. I'm finna get a white boy. Fuck it. Wow. A whole lot of likes and a whole lot of retweets. Isn't that interesting? Just think about that. So the black man is her property. The black man is her eunuch and utility. But the moment that she can monkey brand, she's out of this motherfucker. She's selling you brothers a dream. I'm finna get a white boy. Fuck it. See what I'm saying? See, a lot of y'all be thinking that it's just the upper class type of black women. No, it's the culture. There's a culture of black misandry, bro. It ain't got no bearing on education, and it's not socioeconomic. It's the programming that is in these women and their desires. And you guys better wake the fuck up, man. You're nothing but utilities and eunuchs to most of these women. Let's see the next case that we got. I mean, man, the brother brought receipts. He brought receipts. Leave. So here's the next chick. Her name is Playgirl. I guarantee you Playgirl got a high body count. She got a bunny and balls in her avatar. So that tells you what she's about. Leave our men the fuck alone. No. You notice how they always say our men? That's interesting to me. Our men. But the same dudes, the majority of these same brothers will complain that these women are fucking curving the hell out of them. Where it's our when it benefits them. But it's not our when it's time to give up that pussy, though. It's not our when it's time for you to get on board with us to work together politically and things like that. It's only our when it comes to her selfish insecurities. That's the only time it's our, right? So let's see what Miss Leave Our Men the Fuck Alone has to say. Let's see what she has to say about her white male worship. Oh, again. What Tamara say she was? A white man's whore? Oh, she thirsting though. So she thirsty. You see that? You see that? These women they want to be the whore and the concubine of these white men. But how dare you black men breathe while black? How dare you walk outside and any other race of woman cut her eyes at you and offer you her feminine, cooperation? How dare any other woman do that? She said, again, another woman, another American black woman. What Tamara say she was? She's referring to Tamara, the twin actress, who was married to a white boy that was dogging her the fuck out. A white man's whore. This is what you cats is dealing with. So while you doing all that caping out there, this is what these women really feel when left to just speak for themselves. No one has a gun to these hoes' head telling them what to say. This is how they personally feel about where the sexual market game is. They would rather have a white boy and be a white man's whore than to be your wife or girlfriend. I had that conversation with Mr. Fantastic today, and cats got hella silent when I said on his panel, these women want the white seed more than your black seed. Because, bed bucks, they hold themselves up to the standard of these women want my seed. But what you cats don't know, maybe the Gen X women was like that. Maybe the women before the millennials. But these younger chicks under 30, they are definitely going for that white seed over your black seed. And you cats better keep that shit in mind as you move forward. As I say all the time, a free-thinking brother has to put his own self-interest first. He has to value his seed above everything and only offer that to the most qualified woman. I don't care where she's at on earth. I don't care what her race is, whatever. Make sure that she's 100% vetted and qualified to receive your seed, and not just the seed of your body, but the seed of your mind. These women that I'm reading about right now, these whores don't deserve the attention of no free-thinking brothers. They're only good as concubines, strictly. That's it. They're saying it themselves. I would rather be the white man's whore. So let's go through this list of receipts. Man, this shit is unbelievable, bro. Just unbelievable. Let's see what Tanya has to say. So Tanya, her name is Bad Unchin. Bad Unchin. I don't know. These hoes grammar is so fucking horrible. But Tanya, she got that little bull dyke kind of look. So I don't know what's going on with her. Nah, leave my wholesome brother alone, Becky. Why don't you try to get a Chad next to him instead? Get that Chad next to him instead. Oh, okay. Let's see what Tanya has to say about Chad. Oh, white boy. Look at that. She got the hard eyes, the tongue out, and she got the drip. So she got the sexual attraction, sucking dick, and bussing all in one little quick emoji string, right? Oh my. You see what I'm saying? This is the hypocrisy that we're dealing with as young, free-thinking brothers, man. You got these old fogies trying to tell you to do this and do that for this imaginary world that they're living in that don't even exist, but their daughters and their granddaughters are here on social media, the world that we live in, the modern age, telling us how they really feel about us and how they feel about the same. So you got the grandfather generation saying white supremacy, white man, but your fucking daughter and your granddaughter worships the same white men that you say that you hate so much. Now make that shit make sense. But when educated brothers, thinking brothers, free moving brothers make the decision that, hey, I'm cool, pass. You can have white man, you can have I'm not fucking with these hoes. I'm going where I'm celebrated and I'm going where my seed is valued. Now all of a sudden you're the enemy of the American state. Now make that make sense. I need to holler at her father. Where is her grandfather? Tell me how you raised a whore that worships white men like these that I'm reading about. They won't address that though. They'll tell you as a man everything that you're doing wrong, even though our generation, you know what I'm saying, we ain't even got in power yet. We're just now getting our money right at this stage of the game. But somehow we're responsible for what they didn't do as fathers and grandparents and as mothers and aunts and shit like that. It's our fault. So let's go to the next example that the brother presented in his receipts. We watched Get Out. Nice try. Wendy House. Finally, someone with a regular name. So let's see what Wendy House, who is a fan of the blockbuster movie Get Out, right? You know how these Hotep communists love to talk about the movie Get Out. Let's see what she got to say. Miss Black Lives Matters. Oh, Miss Wendy. I find white men attractive now. If only they'd notice me. Oh, that's very telling. That's very telling. I find white men attractive now. If only they'd notice me. You see that conditional right there. So she thirsting like a motherfucker, boy. All a white bottom shelf brag gotta do is say hello, and that bitch panties falling straight to the ground. She'll give him pay his car note, anything. That's why I keep telling you cats. You know how I feel about reparations and politics. This is why you're not gonna get reparations, bro. These white people have figured the game out on you dumb motherfuckers, man. They realize all they got to do is get the American black woman to believe that she can have that white man, that bottom tier white boy, and play to that, and she can get her on board for anything they want to pass. If it means total extermination of the ADOS community, then it is what it is. Now I wanted to bring that. There's a specific reason why this comment sticks out of my mind. Now, for you people that still watch regular TV, I don't watch regular TV because it ain't marketed to black men, period. But every once in a while, I'll see in the news about some new TV show. So they got a new TV show out. Very, very interesting, the timing of this show. So they got this show out called Mixed-ish, right, on ABC. The show just aired on September 24th, 2019. Here we are about to start. We're 13 months out from the election. So at a time when you got blacks talking about supporting Byron Allen's Comcast case, supporting reparations movements, and other things that relate to black issues, black ADOS issues, isn't it not strange that every time I look up about a show, it's a black woman and a white man? I don't hear about no shows with black men and white women, Asian women, even though you got all these celebrities that are playing these roles, dating women of different cultures. The most recent case that came to my attention was the rapper Young Jeezy, the D-boy, the trap king. He done went and got him an Asian mixed woman. And he's supposed to be all about the hood shit, but he done went and got an Asian woman. So it would make sense that you would see shows about black men with these other women, but no, Hollywood ain't focused on that shit because they know that they cannot control the black man anymore. This generation of black men broke from liberal politics and Republican politics in a way that no other prior black male generation has done. These black men are saying that I'm independent, or I'm not even voting for none of you fuckers. I'm focused on my money, and I'm focused on being free myself. Because you politicians are all about control and brainwashing. So you got this show on ABC that was a spinoff from a show called Blackish. But this is all about the black woman and the white man and that mixed seed. This show just aired last week. It's only 2 episodes in. But my point is that the timing of this shit is very interesting to me. Because, see, they understand, the marketers and the companies like Google, Alphabet, they understand what these women are saying. They got all this information. They know that they can control these women by just giving them what they secretly seem to want so badly. Just give them that bottom shelf brag. They literally think that white men are fucking God, man. They really believe this shit. That's why when these white dudes go to kicking their asses, calling them nigger, bitch, and all these different things on social media, that's why I tell thinking brothers, stand the fuck down. Stand down. This is not your fight anymore. This is no longer your battle. If you are younger than 40 years old and you're not married, this is not your fucking battle. This is between white daddy, white mommy, Asian daddy, Asian mommy, and the American black woman. Like she said, she's a fucking free agent. Stand down. These women have no respect for you, dude. And they will go to their white daddy and their white mommy to disrespect you, and they don't care who sees it. They don't even have any sense of discretion and decorum, bro. It'd be even one thing if they was doing this shit on the sneak. They're fully out with it now, unabashed. Fuck black men. That's their feelings. So let's go to the next white male worshiper. We could do this shit all night. All night we could do this. So let's see so this is, everyone help me find this. Okay, that's her again. Okay, this is the reply. So this is from Miss Coco. 5_2 and addictive. It's funny how these women, like how they use their avatar. It's always about some sexual shit with them. They think it's like always a narcissistic sexual element to their avatar. This shit is funny, but yet they complain about men objectifying them. So she says, it is so funny how white folks think that is saying no is racist. Some of these hoes that's so educated, grammar is horrible. You should have got an F in composition. It's so funny how white folk think that it is saying no is racist. I don't know what the fuck this bitch is trying to say. Let's just get to what she actually said about her white male worship. Oh, but her grammar is much better when it comes to white daddy, though, right? So when it comes to addressing the issue of black men, her grammar is pure shit. But when it comes to addressing her white daddy and putting out that advertisement, she says, I have officially started looking at white men sexy as fuck. They let it be known. They get real clear. They English gets, I wish more white men had jungle fever, laughing out loud. Just think about that for a minute. I just told y'all about the new AB show Mixed-ish. These people understand the black female consumer. They're listening. Listen to what she said. I wish more white men had jungle fever, laughing out loud. I don't see black men doing these kind of things. I don't see any other race doing this shit, man. The only group I'm aware that does is American black women and other black women. I don't see any group doing this shit, begging to be accepted by a bottom shelf Brad, begging to pay the bills of a bottom shelf Brad. If you a bottom shelf Brad out there and you broke, you don't got to be broke. These hoes with the good jobs and money, just go ahead and blow that bitch a kiss. She'll get you out of debt. Ask Stephanie that jumped off the roof in New York, the little Playboy model who killed herself and her mixed child after she found out her white zaddy was having an affair with the white secretary. These hoes will do anything for the white guy, right? So she said to this white people, I wish more white men had jungle fever, laughing out. This shit is so pathetic and disheartening, man. But if you talk to her father or you talk to her grandfather, he'd tell you as a black man, you need to take on this woman. You need to save this woman. These hoes don't need to be saved. Or they ain't gonna be saved by you. Let they white daddy and they white mommy save them. There's nothing you can do for these hoes. Okay. Here goes some more. Do you guys see what I'm saying about these hoes' names? Look at her name. Fresh Pussy. This a black woman's name is Fresh Pussy with the drip. See what I'm saying? You thought I was bullshitting with these hoes. They sexually objectify themselves. But if you as a man was to go up to her and say, do you really got some fresh pussy? She'll have you fired, even though that's her name, Fresh Pussy. No, ma'am, we are dying. We are a dying race. No time to be mixing. So this is her response to that white girl crushing on the black dude in the audience, in the stands. No, ma'am. We are a dying race. No time to be mixing. Let's see what else she says. The same. So Miss Fresh Pussy, whose pussy is probably fucking stank, she goes on to say, I absolutely love white boys. So she got like a very Neanderthal, well-used vagina. You see, I mean, just look at this shit from their own mouth, man. We are a dying race, no time to be mixing. So it's if a black man mixes, this shit is like a high crime. But boy, if it's them doing the mixing, that's virtuous. I absolutely love white boys. This is what she said. I mean, this shit is so fucking ridiculous, bro. It's never ending. I'm only gonna read a couple more because I could probably go on for the next week just reading because there's so many responses. Don't argue with me if you have. No. Now this is a black dude. I don't know why he's getting involved in this shit. So you got a black, we got another captain, super simp type of dude, super simp Saiyan type dude. He like, no, he getting in the other brother's business, the dick police. So we got a dick police simp here. And then you got like the woman down here. She thinks it's hella funny, but let's check her page. So the woman that thinks that the super simp, he's trying to cape on his black white night tip. Let's see what the same women that he caping for got to say about that. Oh, the same bitch says, I'm probably marrying a white boy. And then she posts up a picture. They got this thing called White Boy Wednesday now. So the black girls is promoting that shit heavy. White Boy Wednesday. Now notice what this bitch, so she's happy to support the Super Saiyan simp, but at the same time she says, I'm probably marrying a white boy. These are your queens, homies? These are your queens, my dude? Who raised that thought? That's the question I'm gonna start asking to these Captain Saberhole dudes. Who raised these thoughts? That's the question. That's the ultimate question that you younger brothers, when these dick police come at you, tell them, let me fuck your sister. So when the dick police dude that's in your age group is doing some Super Saiyan simping like, oh boy, tell him, bring me your fine cooperative sister so I can fuck the shit out of her. If you can't do that, shut the fuck up. And if her daddy got something to say about it, you tell him, bring you his fine ass daughter that's submissive. Tell him to do that. Let's see if he can do that. I doubt it. So let's see this one. Okay. I knew I wasn't the only one who doesn't like black boys with white girls, but like black girls with white boys. Man. Oh my. Whew. This is heavy. I usually don't dip into this, but I had to because there's been so much hatred towards free moving and free thinking black men with the passport gate shit, the SYSBM brothers, circling their wagons or whatever. And this is what they're talking about. Just listen to what this woman is saying. There's no sense of justice, no sense of fairness and balance with these people, man. It's insane. It's like some really insane shit. The only people that could think like this is someone who sees you as inferior. So just like they talk about the white supremacists seeing the black as inferior, these women that are quote unquote American black women, they see you black men as fucking inferior, man. So let's see what else she got to say. My mom and I saw this black girl with her white boyfriend, and we almost started clapping, laughing my ass off. We were so happy. Oh my God. Now this woman looks to be in her 30s or 40s. So that means that she's a Gen Xer most likely, and her mom would be a baby boomer or even silent generation. That's why I keep telling you cats, don't let these cats fool you with this generational bullshit. This shit is across the board, this black misandry, man. Listen to what this woman wrote, son. This was in 2015. It's gotten way worse since then. This was 4 years ago. It's gotten so much worse than this white male worship. My mom and I saw this black girl with her white boyfriend, and we almost started clapping, laughing my ass off. We was so happy. We was so happy. The bitch sound like she's still in the plantation. Man, you just can't make this stuff up, man. This, I don't know what this is going on here. I don't even know what this dude is on. I love me some, okay, I guess he's side-eyeing. He says, I love me some white boys, but I hate seeing black boys. So he said, bitch, what? Okay, so this brother was responding to that stupid shit that old girl said with the side eye. Because again, he's one of these dudes that's probably still on the plantation thinking that these are his women. So he's shook. Man, you guys should not be shook at this point, man. She was built by this system, socially engineered to destroy everything black and progressive. That's what you guys must drill in your head. These are not black American women. These are what Tommy calls BT 1000s. These are not the few black women that actually give a fuck about you, that give a fuck about black children and things like that. This is not them. This is the majority that hates your fucking guts. So Lauren Amanda. Let's see what this chick got to say. It bugs me to see black boys with white girls, but it's okay for a black girl to be with a white boy. Hypocrite. I don't give a fuck. I hate seeing that. I mean, just at least she admits that she's a hypocrite. She admits it. I'm a hypocrite, but I love swirling. I just don't like to see the black men do it successfully. See, this shit is, I mean, you dudes that keep talking about you're going to build this community. Good luck, bruh. Good luck. Because you don't got the log. You don't got the natural resources to build with these hoes. It ain't going to happen. So you can get that shit up. Is it weird that I love seeing black girls with white boys, but not white girls with black boys? I love seeing, this is just numerous women. It's just a trail of bitches, man. If you a white boy, MGTOW don't even make no sense to me because these hoes is ready to submit to you. If the whole MGTOW thing is about women submitting and honoring them as men, all you got to do is dip into the pool where these hoes that they will submit, they will honor you, they will pay your tuition, they will pay your bills. They're saying it right here. I love seeing black girls with white boys. I'd be like, you go, girl. I bet he ain't stressing you out. I mean, it's just endless, bro. I'm just Sigma, but I love seeing a black girl with a white boy. Sick in my fucking head, but I love seeing a black girl with a white boy. I mean, the shit is just ridiculous, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. Sorry that I wasn't able to look in the chat while I was reading from Twitter, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a little peek in the chat. I just wanted to share that information with you all because it was just crazy, man. That's from the brother Sir Trix-a-Lot, so you guys shout him out. If there's anyone that wants to that has some thoughts on this, that wants to come on for like another 30 minutes, 45 minutes, let me know, and I will send you the link because I'm sure other people have something to say. Because for me, I think it was just because I had just listened to David Carroll, and you know, this is what he talks about, man. He talks about the blind spot, man. He talks about the blind spot that a lot of you black men have in regards to really calling to task these white male worshiping women, and their misandry must be called out. At what point do you black men start to exercise some masculinity and say, you know what? Don't do this to us. You can't continue to. Now, this is black men. We as black men, we can laugh at this, but think about like the young brothers, that's the zennials, the teenage zennials, and they're coming up, and this is what they're seeing thrown in their mind when they're still at a developing age. It's easy for us as grown men in our 20s and 30s to respond to this and just laugh it off and put the information and share with others. But think about the impact on the minds of these young black boys, seeing how these women think of them, their own mothers. That the one that I read where it was the female that was in her 30s or 40s, and she said she was with her mother, who would have been probably in her 60s and 70s, and how they was clapping for the shit. This is how deep the hatred is for you. It's just that the prior generations of women, because of certain social restrictions that was placed on them, and because of the lack of social media, their feelings was muted, even though there were certain black men that always knew that misandry was there. the women themselves didn't have the mediums that they have now to just outright tell you how much they fucking hate your guts, man. So let me see what some of the comments are from people in the chat room. Let's see. So I see Sir Tricks. That's funny that Sir Tricks showed up though, man, because I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him that I was gonna do this stream. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no communications with him. I just saw his thread, and I'm like, this is mad. Like, it's just so crazy to see. It was. I only went through maybe 20. This shit went on forever. The number of retweets and likes and comments you could have. It would take 10 other brothers doing streams for the next 3 days to get all those comments read to you all, man. Y'all saw where you can go check it out. Go check it out for yourself and just see. These is women from all economic backgrounds and all ages, man. It's very disheartening. You know what I'm saying? Because these same people will keep beating you down as a black man because you're saying, no, I'm going my own direction. I'm going to go where I'm celebrated. But then they won't check these hoes because those are their daughters that they raised or failed to raise. And I suspect that the main reason that they can't check these women is because those women hate their fucking guts as fathers and as grandfathers. That's the part of the game they don't tell you. A lot of their daughters, they weren't there for them. Their mom taught them certain kind of things about black men. The black father wasn't even in the home and the grandfather wasn't there. So those men will try to come at you and me for our decisions, but they can't go talk to that female because she don't have no respect for him. And as much as she may generally hate black men she don't know, she has 10 times more daggers for him. So he dare not come across that viper. He know not to cross that viper's path. He knows very well. So let me see. He says, I'm from the South. The black women are not thirsting for no white man. It's black men with the snow bunnies down south. That's some West Coast California shit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the vibe is in the South. You could be right. It could be like a West Coast, a coastal thing. But nonetheless, things tend to trickle down. So whereas it may not be in the South yet, one has to wonder, at what point does all the predictive programming from the media, every commercial that you see now in 2019 is a black woman with a white man? You don't see the opposite. So you may feel like that's true about the South today, but remember, a lot of people are moving out of the West Coast and out of the Midwest and the East Coast to the South, but they're keeping the same kind of political orientation that they have and bringing it south. That's one of the reasons why Texas and Georgia are probably going to be flipped blue within the next 10 years. So don't underestimate the number of people with the kind of mentality that we're talking about that are now relocating to the South. Don't underestimate that, bro. So what you say today may be true, but 10 years from now, it might be all the Southern girls that we're talking about. So just stay tuned on that one because the programming is out there, man. So my ISIS coder says, I'm sorry, but that talking point that many black women have about them having a low interracial dating marriage percentage due to loyalty is utter bullshit. Oh, no doubt. See, they're not wrong about the marriage part because these white dudes only want to ghetto gag them and, smash and dash. Because we can't keep track of the number that's getting fucked. What would be interesting is not how many of them are getting married to the white men that do not want to marry them, but how many of them are getting ghetto gagged and then tossed back to Americanda. That would be a very interesting study to survey these women. I do remember there was some woman in the news like a couple months ago. She was in her 40s or early 50s, and you guys can look it up on Google. Just Google black woman says that during Black History Month, for every day of the month, she fucked a white boy. Yeah, that was like in HuffPost or something like that, publicly. So she spent all the Black History Month, she said, every day fucking a white dude. So they are right about the marriage part, but the dating part and the getting fucked part is the part we never will know. Those white dudes is not marrying him. It's not because they don't want to do it. The white boys don't want to marry him. He's like, oh, okay, this is some nice 3 a.m. pussy. Bitch, get the fuck out afterwards. Let my roommates fuck you too, you dirty whore. That's how they looking at it. And you heard that in their own voice. These women said that they want to be the white man's hoe. They said it themselves. I mean, I just stopped reading the tweets because I couldn't do it no more, man. I couldn't do it. This is usually not a topic that I address, man, because I'm definitely long gone in catering to anyone that don't cater to me. That's just always been how I've been since high school. But it was just when you see something like that with your own eyes, but then you spend enough time in these black YouTube spaces hearing this rhetoric from the other side, it just makes you just beat your head against the wall, which is why eventually I will just start doing uploads, and it'll be more rare that I ever do a live cast anymore, because I feel like the brothers that get it, they already got it. I've had enough conversation with brothers on this space that the brothers that get it, they're good. And so it'll be more like uploads next year for me once I learn how to do that. But it's just weird to see this shit in real time, man. I ain't never seen no race of women do what these women are doing to that extent. Like, they have no self-respect, man. No respect for anything. And then they want you to be to save them. They want you to protect them. It's crazy, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and send out the link to. I see Sigma Jones. He wants to come on. I'm willing to just listen. I really just want to sit back, hear what you all's opinion is, because for me, it just like really confirmed what David Carroll talks about in his rabbit hole. Just the degree that we don't understand of this white male worship. Like, it's way bigger than most brothers are even aware of, man. And you don't have the excuse of not knowing, because there's too many good brothers out here putting out great information about the truth from these women's mouth. It's not no one putting this on them. This is out of their mouth. And I say, get out of the way between her white God, and her white mommy. That's what I'm telling brothers. Get out of her way. Get 100% out of her way. Leave her for the simp drones and her white daddy. And I think we can get this whole race thing figured out, man. I really think we can get this whole race thing figured out, because I think the biggest impediment to figuring out this race problem is the black man's love for the black race. The black man is in the way of this whole race problem in America. We're the problem, because we're the ones that have been fighting for this black American community for so long. Many of us just didn't know that we were fighting alone the whole time. Just because that bitch was shaking her head and nodding when you were talking about black power and wearing afros, she was never on your team. She was just nodding her head. You were painting a picture, and she was just going along for the ride. And the moment that she realized she could jump off safely, that's what you're seeing. So I think that black men that really see the things the way that I'm seeing it now, how deep this white male worship is and how far back in time it actually goes, don't let no one shame you into taking any woman that don't worship you. You should demand the same kind of worship that I read in those tweets. You should demand the same kind of treatment from any woman that says she's on your program. If you can't get that kind of cooperation, discard that bitch immediately, because now she's showing her hand. She's showing that she's willing to submit. She's willing to worship you. She's willing to get on your team and support you no matter what, as long as your ass is white. So if you can't get that kind of cooperation from her, then she put her in the toxic female category and leave her ass far behind. Do not let these people shame you into taking women that is not qualified to be with a stand-up guy, period. Hey, Sigma Jones, I see you there, bro. You can unmute your mic now.
Hey, what's going on, King Sigma?
Hey, man, I'm good, bro. It's a great Monday. Just kind of shook up by the tweet that Sir Trix-a-Lot put out there, man. It was
man, oh my goodness. Like, that is truly a perfect case study. Like, I mean, I'm just speechless. I'm just looking at all the tweets that you just showed, and I said to myself, if any brother that sees this and still denies that black women aren't like that, is only just a few black women that are like that, he is a doggone fool. I mean, when this woman says she hates you, this black woman, how can you possibly think that this female who aborts your seed and who literally, I mean, the tweet said it, like, they own us. We are property of them. But yet somehow this same female in different comments talk about how much she is willing to get down on her knees for a white boy.
Man.
I mean, you can't make this up. You just can't. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm hyped today. I gotta definitely jump in on this one because it's cases like this to where I'm just like, you know what, brothers, walk away, do your own thing, focus on yourself. Don't even bother with black folks here in America. If you can find some good black folks outside of America who down with your cause and everything, good for you. But for the vast majority, stick to yourself, do your own thing, find people who wants to be about your program, go with your life. That's just how I feel right now.
Man, you got the mic, bro. Like I said, man, for me, it's like I felt like the tweets themselves spoke so much better than I could because what's so beautiful that's the good thing about our generation. We don't got to argue with these Hotep communists or anything. We could just let these hoes talk for themselves. We can let, you got these older brothers, these old fogey niggas coming to us telling us that we should take these women, but he don't take no responsibility for the generation of women that he raised. Why don't we ever hear that part of the conversation? Why don't we hear these older black men that have daughters like this? Why don't they ever talk about how you raised your daughter to hate black men? We don't never get that side of the argument, man.
Because they realize they screwed up. They realize that they screwed it up for the vast majority of black folks here in America. When you sit up here, I mean, the whole part of the civil rights movement was trying to at least get black folks to be recognized as humans. But the boomers took it a step further and just got lazy. And by getting lazy with the social engineering and whatnot, that causes this dysfunction you see now with their daughters. Their daughters feel like they can disrespect any and all black men without any consequences and feel like we should put up with it because their dads, their fathers put up with their moms and then themselves. Like it is a recycle. And the only way you can beat that cycle for brothers and thinking black men, you have to cut yourself from it. Because if you continue to deal with these people, you just know better than the boomers. You're no better than the older Generation Xers. And I know there's going to be older cats out there that don't agree with what we're talking about, but the facts are there. Technology allows us to take these facts, put it in their laps, and just tell them, explain this to me. And we already know they can't because they have no argument to explain it.
You know what's funny though, bro? You know what's funny? Knowing the way that their usual responses, I'm almost guaranteeing they will actually blame white male worship of their daughters on white supremacy. They will say my daughter is a ally of the white supremacists because of white supremacy. That's what he'll tell you. And he says, even though she's the white man's whore, as she calls herself, you should still take her on. That's what he'll tell you.
Bro, I can't tell you. And the comment from that one brother talking about he don't see that type of stuff going on in the South. Let me tell you this much. I have uncles who are from the Louisiana, Alabama area. And they can tell you straight up, they have seen many black women hanging around with suspect white guys, i.e. racist white guys. So if these guys from my own family tell me this is what they see in the South, I mean, what we just saw today is just grand evidence that this is spreading out to every other corner of America and even beyond. So that's why I don't buy this whole argument of, it doesn't happen in the South and everything. Negro, it happens everywhere. It just now, thanks to social media, black women are becoming more vocal about it.
You know what this reminded me of, Sigma? Remember back last spring when that black woman was out, they said she was out hoeing in Dallas, in downtown, and the white boy socked her and shit. Her. Remember that one?
I remember.
That was in the South. She was out. I talked to some people that's from Dallas, and they said that club that chick was at is known for being a club of white male worshiping black women going there chasing after white cowboy type dudes. This is what Dallas people told me. So that kind of lets you know that I hear what the brother's saying, because maybe at large he isn't seeing it, but believe me, the campaign through the media, and then the women reinforcing that shit, it's only a matter of time before y'all reflect the same thing in the South. It's only a matter of time, because what it's about what women prefer. And what I'm trying to point out to you is that there's a large percentage of American black women, the same ones that supported Scandal, the same ones that support all these white male worshiping shows, they have a preference for the white seed. And what I'm trying to say is that it has nothing to do with you and I. Exactly. It's not about you and me. It's about her relationship with the dominant society. I'm willing to accept that and get out her way. See, it's about her relationship with her white God and her white mommy. It has nothing to do with you and me as black men. She has a preference for the white seed. She wants to ensure, listen to what I'm saying. She has the power to ensure that black, what she considers to be ugly, black skin, kinky, nappy fucking hair disappears. She knows now that if she can get on the good side of those white folks in the bottom quarter, that they will maybe have pity for her and give her that mixed seed so that she can stop having these nappy-headed, big-lipped, ugly black people that she hates so much. And that's what this is about. This is about her worship of whiteness. It has nothing to do with us at this point, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this one last comment, then I'm gonna let Kitty Jones get in. But this is why this whole bull crap about select versus non-select makes no sense. We shouldn't even be talking about this, because all it takes is one white boy to be thrown in the mix, and that whole argument is killed. That whole argument is done. So I'm gonna jump in the background, but definitely Kitty Jones, sir, definitely give your input on this.
Did you peep some of the messaging though, where like girls, they were saying, I like white boys, I love white men, but they ain't gave me no play yet.
Oh, exactly. I saw that too.
Oh,
I saw that too.
God, like this shit, man. Oh my God. I was reading in a Japanese newspaper, right, about the Amber Geiger trial. The Japanese were so shook by seeing the judge and that Caribbean black dude and the ABW stroking that white woman's hair. Other people are looking at you like you people are fools. 100% fool.
And dude, and Kingsick, not to cut you off, but I don't know if you also caught what's his name, the victim's father. This is right after the verdict came down and everything. This man got up on the podium. I don't know if it was at his church or outside the courtroom. And this man literally up and said, I hope that me and her can become friends. I said to myself, Negroes, that's where we at right now. That's where we at. But definitely I don't want to get off topic, but just seeing that whole Amber Geiger case, it was just a manifestation of this is what happens when black folks try to chase whites way too much.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. Hey, you got the mic, Kyria. I enjoyed your recent uploads, man. I see where you're going.
What's happening, fellas? Peace to the panel, peace to the chat. And I had to get on for this one because you are absolutely cooking. But speaking of Uncle David Carroll, he made the video that really woke me up. It was called You Can't Box with God. Mm-hmm. That was a classic, and that really opened my eyes. Like you say, like we've seen, right? She doesn't care about you. She doesn't value your seed. And like so many individuals are still trying to, I think, struggle with that fact. And it hurts and it's painful on some level. You know, I get it, but it is what it is. She doesn't like you and she doesn't value your seed at all.
I think she even goes beyond even not valuing it. I think that she despises your seed as well. I'm willing to go to that level where I think that these women that we were just looking at comments, they despise the black seed. Because,
I agree. I mean,
they don't want to replicate themselves. That's what we need to get into more. I think these women, it's their goal not to replicate what they find to be ugly. See, it doesn't have anything to do with us as black men. It's about how she sees blackness. She thinks blackness is ugly, and she thinks that mixed seed is beautiful. So she wants that mixed seed, even if it means her becoming extinct on her own family tree. She doesn't care about that. She wants to do her part to ensure that black disappears. That's how I see what their comments.
I don't disagree. I agree with you completely. And then the question becomes, for those of the opposition, right? Those who want to save the community, the question is, why would you give your seed to a woman who is going to do everything in her power to destroy your image? How much sense does that make?
It makes no sense. And I was on Mr. Fantastic panel today, and I asked the same question that you're asking because, I've been having this ongoing, just like a very informal survey in regards to some of the comments that a lot of these Black toxic females are making in these spaces, saying that they want to kill Black boys in the womb, right? And so I'm someone who's always abhorred abortion, but at the same time, being a very centrist type of guy, I tend to look at not just the obvious, but I try to look at like what is not obvious. And I'm listening to these toxic females more and more say these kind of things. I'm listening to them more and more promote their white male worship for the mixed seed. And I'm asking brothers all over, and you guys can tell me what you think. Is it better for you to allow these women in the first term to terminate these Black children that they do not want to raise, to save them the hell that they will go through from 18 to 21 years at the hands of these toxic females? Or do you take the other side of the more conservative brothers who say that they're pro-life and they say these women should be forced to have these children that they hate and cannot take care of? But I add this one caveat to it. I'd say to the conservative brothers, okay, I accept your argument that you say that you should force these toxic females with all their misandry, all their Black male hatred, have these children, raise them for 18 to 21 years. But I ask you this, how is that fair to the amount of Black children that they're destroying? So if you have 8 out of 10, for example, of these children are going to be completely destroyed, useless to society, and become prison bait, why aren't you dudes that are saying this, because you say that you so strongly believe this, why aren't you stepping up and starting a movement to adopt these children straight from the cradle? Because I feel that if you have that strong of feelings and you have that little empathy for these young men that will be brought up in these families, why aren't y'all stepping up as an army and saying that we're going to get laws passed that take away a woman's right if she gives us these children? Why don't you men step up and take on these Black boys so they can have the healthy upbringing and at least have a fucking fighting chance in this society that's getting more and more competitive every year?
I'll take that one. So I want to start on the higher level, because we have a lot of people that claim to be conservative. Now, me, myself, I am a Frederick Douglass and Mule Haynes, Captain Paul Cuffey, classical liberal in that tradition.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot of people who label themselves conservative, and yet they have all the opportunities in the world to, for example, outlaw abortion. You've got, so-called conservative justices and things like that. But if I take a Machiavellian view of the situation, if I'm a conservative, I would want abortion to be legal, because the people that maybe in the minds of some, or maybe many, I don't know, but basically the undesirables, quote unquote, would be the ones having the abortions. So I think this is a quietest kept public interest in the part of some politicians and others who they say one thing, but they're letting these things go on because they know they're benefiting from it indirectly. Now, for me, I'm a Christian man, and, from a moral perspective, I'm against abortion, but I can't really argue about these women having the children and all that, because the fact of the matter is, if a woman really wants to have an abortion, she's going to find it. She's going to get it somehow. Like even today in 2019, they can order pills off the internet or whatever. I seriously doubt that, for example, we got the Supreme Court term coming up. I highly doubt that they're going to do anything to make it illegal for reasons that we just stated. Because I think, unfortunately, a lot of people low key know the level of self-hate that the Daggle has. And so it's better for them to take care of it at Planned Parenthood versus, picking up bodies and off trash bags and off the street. So I don't know if that was a direct answer, but that's what comes to mind. I feel like the children do suffer. And, you may have seen this report. It was in Axios. I think it came out today. They were saying that basically that ebony American people would be the biggest losers from automation. So, we see the writing on the wall. A lot of folks aren't going to make it because they aren't raised with the skills to compete in 21st century Earth, So, and I can add to that if you want, but that's my initial thoughts.
Now, what do you think about the other piece? Because this is just us having a conversation about the current state of the sexual contract and the social contract between men and women in America. What do you think about the other piece? Do you think that I'm being extreme when I say to those men that they say it doesn't matter if those kids are born and raised in those toxic families, we should still force those women to have those children? Now, when I say that those men should sign a pledge to take on a certain number of black babies from those toxic women and pass laws that would say to those women, we know you don't want to have this baby. We've taken away your rights to abortion, but we are going to take on the responsibility of raising those kids, because this is what happens. This is what actually happens in real time. Black children, and black boys specifically, are the least adopted and the most sexually abused in these foster homes. Because what I noticed, a lot of these dudes that will say, oh, we should take away abortion 100%, because I believe it should only be in the first trimester. I don't support anything after the first trimester. But these same dudes will just say, well, she can always get a kid up for adoption. And I asked it, I say, okay, are you willing to be the one to adopt? Oh, I'm not going to do it, but someone will. And then I give them statistics that say that these kids are most likely to be in foster care until they're 18, never having lived in one place for more than a year. Crickets. Then I say these kids get so much trauma from sexual abuse in these homes. Crickets. See, this is what I'm saying about what I see in this space. I don't see people using a 3D thinking. They just say shit, but they don't really believe it, and they don't really stand for it. I had one person so far that I posed this question to tell me I would sign that pledge. But out of all the other hundreds, not one other person has contacted me and said they'll sign that pledge. That doesn't.
Well, I don't think that's for me. Yeah, I don't think that's extreme because, logically, if someone is going to say, okay, let's outlaw abortion, then they need to be prepared to, handle that basically. So just for the listening audience, so I am actually Eastern Orthodox. So we consider ourselves to be basically as close to the early church as it gets. And we have this very old school catacombs kind of mentality when it comes to certain things. So oftentimes the discussion is had about, the question was, how did the Christians basically conquer the Roman Empire? Not necessarily through conversion so much, but the biggest factor was that the Christians would go out when the children were exposed. The early Christians would go out and find those children, and they would bring them back and raise those children. And of course, they would grow up Christian. So by the time that, decades had passed, most of the marriageable women were Christian. So if you were a pagan, for example, and you wanted somebody to marry, you had to deal with these Christian girls. And so therefore, the empire was converted. Now, that's a very simplified, reading of history. But, as someone, so that's why I'm not really ready to say, I'm not personally prepared to say that all abortions should be outlawed. I'm definitely against it morally, but I'm not going to say this. Yeah, I'm not going to say it should be outlawed because for two reasons. First, my morality is not your morality in terms of, what I believe is not the same as what someone else believes. People have to believe of their own volition because all the horrors of history have come about by trying to force somebody to believe the same thing that they believe. I think that free thinking means exactly that. You should be able to look at something and accept and reject on your own. So that's why I'm not for like super hardcore conservative ban all abortion. The other part is just like you say, I have 2 children of my own. I'm not willing to go out and adopt all of these children, that come about from these broken homes and things like that. I do think, for example, adoption does have something, has a role to play. And that's why you see all these, Christian, Catholic, Orthodox, orphanages and whatnot. But me personally, no, I'm not willing to take a child from the Daggle. I refuse to be the cleanup man. And it's sad. And, I feel bad for the children because they are the ultimate victims. I know that some of the children will grow up and they'll basically come out of that, right? They'll be strong enough to claw their way out from the mess and they'll see us on the other side of the game, and they'll gravitate towards the light, so to speak. But yeah, that's my thought. I mean, when I really look at it on a real level, I can't come out here and say ban it all for those reasons.
Got you. Appreciate that. Pharaoh, hey, welcome to the panel. You know, you got the microphone, bro.
What's good with everybody in the panel? What's good with the chat room?
Man, we
You know, it's very funny, small world, because that Tennessee game, they was actually playing one of my favorite schools. I'm a Georgia fan, so they was playing Georgia, and so on there it was a girl who attends the college, and it was on her social media, and she pointed it out. So when you brought it up, I'm like, well, wait a second, it's a small world. I'm like, King Simba got his hands on it too.
It was Sir Trix-a-Lot. He's the one that put it out there, man. And
okay, I'm like, wow, because yeah, everybody on the Georgia campus talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, so what are they saying down there in Georgia?
Well, pretty much, you got some girls, they really just laugh because they see the hypocrisy, so they just laughing it off. And you got especially the white guys. The white guys not really, they on that little, that little, they don't want to see the black man with a white woman type shit, but it's very subtle, like passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of, by the way they typing in the chats and shit. But then it was the brothers that was sitting over there, and they was like the nerve of these heifers.
So are you a teacher at the university over there?
Nah. I was well, I actually dropped out because I, didn't want to attend. So I actually used to be a former student.
Okay.
So when it just, and when I looked at it too, and I was like, and it goes back to where BGS was saying when he did his video of the myth of the white womanhood.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think everyone.
Oh my God, man! And it got flagged so many times, especially the one where he had James Earl Jones, where he was talking about, and I was like, dang, man! I was like, it's literally like this programming, like this, and I'm like, the narcissist just runs so strong, and that's why I say they're not our women. I don't know why people keep saying that. I'm like, they are not our women. They are counterparts. Exactly. But they're not our women.
See, that's the term I use. I say our female counterparts. That's the terminology.
Right.
Because I think the reason that they say it, I think a lot of brothers, like, it hits them in their ego. I think it's like a thing. I think it hurts, and it's understandable, bro. It's understandable that it would hurt you to be devalued by what has been assigned to you as your female counterpart, but at the same time, every day a large portion of them work against your interest. That's a hard pill to swallow, bro. That's a bitter pill to swallow, which is why BGS's video about the myth of white femalehood or white womanhood has been knocked off so many times, because that they don't want that information to spread to the younger ones like us. They don't want that to happen.
Right. Exactly.
But they can't stop it.
Yeah, and then I liked how you put it. You said where you have the older generation where they try to, tell the younger generation like us, talk about why we shouldn't hop or why we shouldn't go find happiness with other women when they actually failed their women because they wasn't there. And I was like, you hit it on the head, because that's not really talked about. I think where Anderson was like, I forgot what he it's on the tip of my tongue. I guess it's on the tip of my tongue, but how he pronounced it, how he puts it is, you got these, he said, never trust dudes that have daughters with no sons, because they most likely failed their daughters, and they're going to start putting, their failures and everything else on you, kind of on some, some hotel, what do you call it, the B1, like the black conscious community type shit. Like
the term that we use over here, and I need you all to use the proper terminology. Terminology is important. It's Black Woman First movement. That's the terminology.
Okay, black woman first.
Yes.
That's so crazy to me. I'm like, okay. See, here's my issue. If someone from the Black Woman First movement came to me and said, hey, Kitty Jones, we're organizing, we're gonna do this and that, we're gonna make power moves, and everybody was on board, I would say, okay, I'm with it. But you can't do that. You cannot build Zion in the Matrix. Shout out to MBD. You just can't do it. And this evidence, these receipts should bury the case. I mean, it's irrefutable.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, Kerry, but check this out, bro. You know all the tweets that I just got done showing you? That shit's getting deleted in real time from Twitter right now, bro. Yeah, look at the screen.
Real?
Right now. Yeah, I was about to bring up another one of the comments. Yo, somebody must have got.
Oh shit!
All that shit's getting deleted right now on Twitter, bro.
Bro, you're gonna have to back up this live stream someplace because they're gonna flag this.
Shit. Man, I'm so glad I did the live stream when I did it because now they're deleting everything from that thread.
Oh shit!
Check it out. Check it out on Twitter. Look at this shit. This tweet is now under.
Wow.
Now that should tell you something. They don't want the truth to be exposed because they know it would be curtains for them.
Now here's one. I'll give this one to you, Kiri. Here's one that didn't get deleted yet. You can go ahead. I'll let you. This one you can read it, but check this out. So this is in that same thread. I guess people are starting to delete it. So we'll try to get through a couple more before they delete everything. But check out this shit. The slave master's son, bro.
This is historically accurate. This is exactly what happened.
And this is the kind of literature that these women are paying for today in 2019. Yep. The slave master's son. Yet they told you that they were for you trying to free yourself from slavery. So let's check this out. Now she's talking about the white boys. Soon gonna date a white boy because black boys are obviously not for me. They white boys, they usually have a trade, make shitloads of money, and treat you well. But then it's funny that we'll get all these women on this space talking about how they've been mistreated by white boys, had the ass kicked, called nigger bitch, dogged out. I mean, this shit is just over. And people think look at their grammar, man. What is up with this fucking grammar of the most educated?
And people think I be lying.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. She says, and people think I be lean.
This is
lying.
Look at this shit. Look at the white boy.
Yes, lay queen.
Need more of this. Do it, queen. Go to the black women. Check it out, Black Women First. This is specifically for you Black Women First to do. They're using queen now and using king on the white boys now. Now they've crowned the white boys publicly now. Yes, need more of this. Do it, queen. I mean, this is crazy.
Queen. This is the God.
Man, let me see.
You came from a black woman.
I mean,
your mama black.
Okay, here go another one from the thread. Here go another one. I mean, just the hatred, man. Just the fucking hatred. I haven't heard the white men complain about paying on first dates. Laughing my ass off. I think it's common sense and courtesy, blah, 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 blah. Now, here goes, look at this, look at this shit. So they got a picture of LeBron James, right? And these women below it, this is in the same thread. Black dudes are a fucking disgrace to mankind. I do not like black dudes.
Wow.
I only like white boys. Sorry, not so. I mean, just
that is some borderline bald eagle shit. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This just confirms that it really time for me to make a smooth transition to white men.
Wow.
Just listen to the worship, bro. Like they white God can do no fucking wrong. Do it, sis. Peace of mind. Love, freely expressed emotions. It's lit. Oh,
but King Sigma, you black, we black, your mama black.
Man, for my mama, I'm glad she didn't live in this age. I'm glad that we made it through because my mama could have been one of these hoes in this society. So I'm glad that I beat this generational shift because they got we're getting the true. See, we're the ones that have to deal with the daughters and granddaughters of the boomers and the silents and the older Gen Xers. But yet they want to tell you that dumb shit about your grandma was black and all this stupid shit. Why don't you get your fucking
Sigma?
Oh, hey, what's up, MOT? You got the mic, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, what's up? But see,
Oh, good, man.
you're missing. But you're missing why they're doing this. The why they're doing this is because they always assumed that we were gonna pick them and no one else. Why they get the freedom to do whatever they want to.
Yes, sir.
That's the assumption. That's the assumption. Because women, especially black women who have this type of attitude, they cannot live in a world of equity. They have to live in a world full of one-sidedness, and mostly in their favor. Even when I was in the military, going to Germany, going to Italy, going to all these places, we're talking about the same women who would never give black dudes no play at all.
Was that the
moment
case?
you went out? Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, I'll say it again.
I said, oh, really? That was the case?
Yes, the same exact women who would never give dudes no play. The moment this dude got with the German, these women would flip the fuck out. But they want you on the shelf. They don't want you acting autonomously. They don't want you engaging in your own freedom, man. They don't, and they never cared about that.
Exactly.
And
exactly. Yep. That's what it is. That's what I was trying to mention earlier, is that these type of people are not built for a system where all parties in the system have freedom of choice. They're not built for that.
They're not built for competition. Simple competition.
Do you see what's on the screen right now? MOT, check that shit out, man.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
I mean, just look. Girl, they will flirt with me and then nothing. I'm waiting for a cream brother to ask for my number. Now they calling the white boy's brother now. You see what I'm saying? And this is for
Hey, I mean, it's far worse in the South. It's far worse in the South.
That's not what one of the brothers from Georgia just said. There's a brother in the audience that said it ain't like this in the South. That's what he just said.
Bullshit. I live in the South. Bullshit.
Dude.
Bullshit.
Hey, I said the same thing.
I need the black woman first to explain to me this shit that I'm reading right now, bro. Let me just read this.
BW1.
Girl,
BW1.
They will flirt with me and then nothing. This sounds like some Terry McMillan type shit. I'm waiting for a cream brother to ask me for my number.
But you have to understand that they value the basic one of them far more than they do the actual brother who was actually doing something.
Yeah,
they actually do think that shit.
Tell us more about the German example, because that's good that you said that, like, these are the same women that will put the brother in the orbiter pool, but the moment that brother says, fuck this orbiter pool, I'm going to choose someone that chose me, now it's a problem.
Dude, listen, man. Every couple of months, there be dudes leaving and coming on base, right? And you'll see, like, a new group of beta male orbiters buying, like, they're like the dude who's sitting at the food court on base, taking, like, 10 black women out, not getting any ass. Everybody else is having fun. He's trying to, quote unquote, keep it real. And after his third or fourth week doing that, until he actually leaves the base or goes on one of them trips, and one of the women just basically wants to talk to him, and he's shocked and surprised that all this game and all this stupid shit that he's been trying on women who don't give a fuck about him, he actually is approached by a woman who actually does give a damn about him, and that he didn't have to try all that stuff, and all of a sudden he left the women alone. And those same women who would take a free meal from this dude is now cursing this dude from the ceiling because he sold out. Now, they didn't sell out, taking this free food, not treating him with a level of respect. Like, that's the shit that they expect out of black men. Like, this is what I say, dude. This obviously does not apply to all black women, but it's far too many for this shit never to be getting pointed out by other black women. I've never seen other black women check this shit. I've never seen it nowhere in the world. I just never seen it.
Yeah, I don't never see them get checked on anything by anyone. I mean, look at the screen right now. So we got, like, this is a diasporic black woman, and she got the Wookiee weave blonde hair on, right? And she's saying, send them my way too, sis. I mean, these chicks fucking, this is their white fucking god, man.
I mean, but you gotta understand that right now, it's okay for them to do it now. But, like, The other side of social media is people can put your ass on blast in ways that you can't control shit. That's why them tweets probably got taken down.
Yeah, they took down most of them, but it's still a couple of them up. So I'm trying to get through them before they all disappear because you know they want to send this shit down the memory hole quick. Because like the brother Pharaoh said they were talking about it on his campus, so that lets you know this shit might go viral, and these hoes is trying to disappear themselves real fast. So look at, I mean, just preferably white boys. I would love it. What I tell you, preferably white boys. I would love a mixed niece or nephew. I fucking just told you dudes this. They love the
white. But here's the thing. Now, King Sigma. Here's the deal. They're not talking about jawline niggas or niggas who's in supreme amount of shape. They're talking about basic motherfucking people just because they're white. You need to keep that in mind. They're not talking about all this other shit.
Bro. And now this one right here is gonna mess with y'all head a little bit. Now this chick right here, this one was interesting when I read this on Sir Trix-a-Lot stream. Black men really make themselves look like fools for the acceptance of white women.
Oh, good Lord.
The next one, when I flip this, I had to do it really, really quick, bro. Those not safe for works pictures. But now check her out. So she's a porn star, right?
Wow.
So she's an interracial porn star.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, but she does cosplay with white men, porn with white dudes. But listen to what she said. Black men really make themselves look like fools for the acceptance of white women, but she's willing to get paid peanuts to go on record getting fucked in every hole by hundreds of white men. And I'm gonna go real fast, but there it is.
Wow.
Man.
Ghetto gagger face ass. Ghetto gagger face ass.
That rabbit hole goes deep, man.
Man, the rabbit hole is a motherfucker. Look at this shit. I hate seeing black men with white women, but I don't have a problem with a white man with a black female. I mean, it's just, I don't like seeing black men with white women, but I like seeing black women with white men. Makes sense? I mean, I don't like.
They are above you. They are above you. They don't believe in equality for you. They believe in assignments. That's it. And here's the thing. We wouldn't be talking about this if all the other women in their gender would have stamped this shit out. But see, here's the other thing about women in the group. They go with the hive mind. They don't even try to check other women and shit until people start fucking with you all together and be like, wait a minute, how come I ain't gonna look? Listen, you got 30 niggas in the phone that you ain't fucking either. So don't make it look like just because you ain't out here fucking all these dudes that you're not benefiting off the same system that the hoes are benefiting off of. It's impossible to think you're not benefiting in the same system. You may not be doing the same amount of work, but you're benefiting off the same system.
That's what's so interesting to me is that they have no push. Like these hoes get no fucking pushback from the women, bro. None
at all.
Now about that porn star. So yeah, I mean, if you appreciate the irony, of the situation. So the brother in this case, he didn't do anything. He was just standing there being him, doing nothing. And the woman was checking for him. Yep. But yet the porn star has to go out, signing contracts, do this, that, and the third just to get the attention that she desires. And yet they claim that it's the moral equivalent, that they claim it's the same thing. I mean,
this is the exactly kind of woman that after she done got ghetto gag, got her guts beaten in or whatever, now she throws in a dashiki and now she's doing Dear Black Men videos and telling you gotta stump out white. I mean, this is why I just say that most of these motherfuckers are finished, bro. I'm talking about finished psychologically, completely finished, man. There's nothing to save with these people. All you can do is try to put out the information and hopefully critical thinking brothers will get it through their heads that, yo, I gotta do something different. I gotta start my own path and I gotta walk my own path and be accountable because this shit that they trying to get us drawn into is madness. You got a bitch that's doing straight porn, coming on record telling black men that we doing for white women. He ain't did nothing but stand there, but then flip into her timeline, find out she's done fucked a whole army of white men for profit.
They just suspend his account.
You said what? Kerry?
Yeah, some dude in the channel said that they suspended the guy's Twitter account.
Oh, shoot.
I bet you they did.
Trying to cover up the evidence.
Of course, they sending that shit straight down the memory hole because that's what they do. Like I said, it's okay for them women to put that shit out there, but the moment that a brother gets the receipts and shares it with other brothers, we gotta send this shit down the memory hole. But it's too late.
Too late. Yeah.
The shit has been exposed, man.
That's why I'm glad you did the stream. I'm so glad you did it.
Yeah, man. It was this is a fire. I mean, and we're told that we need to sit on the stoop and stand around on the plantation because
you know how they don't make distinctions. You ever notice how black men go out of their way in these spaces to say not all black women? They'll say most black women, some black women, many black women, but these bitches don't make no fucking distinctions. They say they all trash, but pick the trash with the most money, credit, and assets, I suppose. See, even just listen to what this broad said. Even she thinks all black men are trash, but even though they are trash, she say still get what you can out of them. Nowhere do they talk about what they're bringing to the
Exactly.
Wow.
Like some hot girl summer Megan Thee Stallion bullshit. Yep.
No, you gotta say hot girl summer abortion winter around here. We gotta say the full thing. It's hot girl summer, abortion winter. That's how we call that shit around here. But this whole said all these black men are trash. All these black men are trash, but pick the trash with the most money, credit, and assets, I suppose. So
I suppose, like,
I mean, this is how lowly they fucking think.
I suppose.
So for her, if you gotta deal with us black men, at least go with the one with the good credit. He's still trash. He ain't shit, and you gonna make his fucking life miserable. And he happens to have the unfortunate knocking you up. You go destroy his children, but at least do that. I mean, I don't know. These receipts is unbelievable, man. I'm so glad that this shit got put out there because it's hard to try to explain this to people as a man versus letting the women speak for themselves.
yeah,
It's great to let the women express themselves, to use their freedom of speech, to let it be known how much they worship their white God.
give enough rope to
I
hang
have sat
themselves.
through a number of depositions to where I'm like, well, she knows this shit gonna be read in the damn courtroom while she's saying all this stupid shit. Don't care. Don't care. Not even embarrassed either.
Nah, they're not embarrassed. Man. I think that, you ever heard that saying? Freud had a saying. He said that Irish people were immune to psychoanalysis. And I was like, it's interesting that there hasn't been a bigger study of blacks, especially black women. I think black women are immune to shame. I think it's very possible that they might be immune to the shit because one of the things that's never been studied, and I do think would be great for reparations, they need to do like a generation study of the mental health and the history of mental health with black people. And they really need to find out, do black women have shame? Because the shit, I get the feeling they don't have shame. They don't feel it. They don't feel shame.
Well, you can't feel shame because, well, part of shame is responsibility. So if you're never being held responsible because everybody's trying to fuck the problem, which is her in the first place.
Wow.
Mhm.
I mean, so
I like how he said that shit.
how on earth is the mechanism for shame going to work without responsibility? You need a baseline level of responsibility for shame to fucking work.
Yeah.
That's the deal. It's a nurtured level of irresponsibility because niggas' dick get hard and they think their turn's gonna come up, so everybody want to now hold their ass responsible.
Yes.
Period.
Well, yeah, they're willing to sacrifice manhood. They're willing to sacrifice their own freedom long term. Just like what happened with Antonio Brown, just to get a little quick piece. They don't care about the long-term consequence until it's too late. When they're on the other side of that judge bar, and then now they're saying, man, we need to change these laws. How did we get here? How did we get here? Because when it was an opportunity for you to do something about it, you was too busy chasing after the wrong thing instead of actually establishing some kind of principles and policies that can protect you in the future. They don't think like that. And it's
Exactly.
They kind of want to think like that once they get caught. And then all you have to do is just march another black booty right across that fucking screen. The motherfuckers are back again.
Mhm.
Can't help it, man.
All I know is that something is wrong with us when we put our passports in the sky. You know, we're bad, we're wrong, we're lame, we're abusers, we're all these things, right? But the other side can do no wrong. You know, they love us, they say.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I think that what it is that they want to maintain a lack of standards, a lack of objectivity, because that allows for emotions to run rampant. That allows for everybody to be accepted. So I think a lot of black folks in America, man, they don't want any type of standards because they want to be free to do everything without ever being judged or having to pay the cost. They want to, but that scheme has run its course in America. That scheme has run its course, man.
It sure has. And the other problem that they don't get is standards are supposed to protect. They're not just a baseline for everybody else. It's supposed to protect the group. This is why you got so many people who claim to be for actually black woman freedom 1st rather than black male freedom first. So you have to really recognize is that they run their whole mental framework around the freedom of this woman to do whatever the fuck she wants to. It's like her freedom come first. I may come 20th in the line of shit that she wants to do. And that's just the way it is with these people. And the moment you think outside of that ethos, they want to mount on the damn horizon like Braveheart and come after your ass. The moment you don't bow down to this community badge, that shit's crazy.
No, I think that they've run out of ammunition. I think that the Hotep communists and the Black Women First movement, the truth is, and I've said it before, that a lot of these dudes that are still doing the drone role, they've actually been run out of the Hotep community, and they're on their last space. This is the last space for them before they have to face the music, because the Hoteps, the really big ones, they don't fuck with those Black Women First dudes and these communist dudes to that extent, because a lot of the dudes that are the leaders of that side, they all have non-ADOS women, biracial women, white.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they know that at the end of the day, if those cats can't put money in their pocket, they're not fucking with them. And it's been made pretty clear that there's going to be no conversion of the men in this space to that ideology. See, I know that they've run out of time, because I don't see any cats that I've known from this space since I've been here last year that have converted to that ideology at all. None of them. Not one. I can't name one that I came in contact with in this space since last year that has been converted by that Black Woman First movement at all. So at that point, it's all about solutions. You can't just be investing your energy in a space where people is like, yo, I'm not trying to hear that message that you're talking about. Go somewhere else. At what point do you have to give up? Because you can't just keep pumping energy and time into something, and actually the resistance is getting stronger and stronger to your message. You see what I'm saying? So their time is up, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a corner store argument after like 9:30 and 11. So they're gonna find another corner store to go to and have this dumbass conversation. That's just the nature of the way it is. It's just gonna be less and less people listening.
Exactly.
Because as these people fall off, they become a larger and larger group as they get left further and further behind. So there's going to be a lot of people who say this stupid shit. Trust me, there are thousands of lost people who want to hear this shit because they got a lot in common with it.
That brings up an interesting point. We saw the receipts, we saw the tweets. The question is, how many other that her original post had what, like 10,000 retweets or something like that? Like, how many people saw the receipts?
A lot of people saw it, but unfortunately, Kier, they did take it down. I just checked. They took that whole thread down, man.
Wow.
Twitter took that shit down. He got knocked, man. He was showing too many receipts, but look, like I said, man, they can't find the truth, man, because they can try to take that shit down all they want. But these women, it's funny that the women can say this shit, right? But when the man actually retweets it, they delete it. It's a total hypocrisy. That's why I was talking about that Joker movie. I'm so glad it made that 96 billion and broke the October release records for history, because it showed that these mainstream people can keep trying to censor us. They can keep trying to run us off these platforms, but the truth and the demand for the truth is getting stronger and stronger every day. They're getting outvoted, man. People are voting with their wallets. They're voting with their feet and their voices now. And the age of the social justice warrior, their time is coming to an end very fast, because people are showing them with their wallets. Every time they try this shit, they lose. They tried the Joker. They tried hard. They had a full-on campaign to cancel that shit in the mainstream media. Man, he broke.
And guess what? Guess what? They used to work. They used to work without social media. It used to work.
Yep, exactly. That's the game changer. This social media, this internet is a fucking game changer because it puts the common man in power. It allows him to refute celebrities. It allows him to reject messages from the mainstream media. So this is the great equalizer, this internet thing, man. We should be thankful for this era of the fourth industrial age because it's going to put more and more power in the everyday person's hand and take more and more of that power from the elite class.
Facts.
And they don't want that. They don't want that. Trust me.
No, they don't.
You can have the same power right now as a Fox, CNN, as an MSNBC. You could get probably more people following and watching you than they get on their primetime shows.
Actually, as a matter of fact, that's what they was talking about. They saying some of these YouTube creators, like the Young Turks and all them, man, they get more viewers than CNN and them, so they got to compete with them now.
Oh yeah, it's real. I've seen quite a few people that are analysts on CNN, and they work for these large corporations as analysts and pundits, but they don't have no followings on YouTube. The regular people like you and I, even though we're like nobodies, we can get just as many viewers as a lot of these famous people now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about a small guy. The larger channels in this space, oh my God, I've seen cats with followings of like 50 to 100,000 in this space, and they're able to get like 2,000 to 4,000 viewers at one time.
Yep.
They're regular Joes. So the game has changed, man. And that's why I'm saying that the age of this black woman first movement and black men never, that shit is over with, man. It's no done.
What you say? You said black men never.
Man, that's how I feel. I've actually come to the conclusion that that's how they see it, man.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Because I mean, you know, we have to keep repeating it. All of us have to keep repeating that until it becomes part of the zeitgeist. They don't care. They just don't.
Nah, they're trying to ride it until the wheels fall off. That's what's so interesting about it. Like this group says that they're the most educated, which has been debunked 1 billion times, but they still keep repeating it. And the white cucks will keep repeating it for them if it gets them what they want. But just think about the fact that isn't part of being educated and a critical thinking having some kind of foresight, and at a minimum being able to say that if I do action A, at least this is 1, 2, 3 possible outcomes. And if you're really a deep thinker, you might be able to find like additional layers of outcomes and then make a decision. So that tells you either
absolutely not.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Yeah. They can't do that. So they say the education piece, they need to come off that high horse. And I'm actually hearing, I don't know, maybe it was you, MOT, but I'm hearing this more and more from brothers out there saying that they're seeing a lot of American black women with their degrees and are getting fired from jobs and laid off now and replaced with Asian and white and Latino women.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
So I'm starting to hear that a lot too, that a lot of black women are getting
See, here's the thing. It's a group battle. Now that stuff works when you're black and you're the only minority here. So now when you got Asian minorities, Indian minorities, Latin minorities, those people work as a group and they don't work against their men. And if you're the only dumbass motherfucker who works against your man, and you got everybody who works with their own people, at some point you're gonna be the odd woman on the goddamn stick, which is what they're seeing right now. Because the most well-connected group always win in corporate America. That's
True.
what the culture is. And what black women don't understand is you're not part of the white ethos or culture. Exist. You're still black.
Well, I think they really do.
They keep thinking that I'm a woman first and black second.
I think they really see themselves as separate from us, man. I really think that's what it is. They see themselves as a different group. Like there's black men and then there's American black women.
They absolutely do. And quite frankly, it's like, you know, when I got the memo and the light bulb came on, that's how I feel. Like if I'm in, you know, at the gig, I don't talk to the daggle like that. I don't associate with her. You know, I just don't, you know, just go about my business doing what I do.
So you're not the only one that's finding yourself in that situation, because I'm actually in that situation too. And I was talking to Mr. Research about that last week, like how it's a strange feeling, man. Like when I'm in an environment with the American black woman, it's almost like I get on the defensive now when they come into my presence in the working environment, school environments. But the moment that one of them come on, like my guards is up, and I ain't never felt like that until like recently. And the more that I learn about how they feel about me as a black man, my guard be up strong now. And I thought I was, really tripping that I was starting to feel like that. But I'm not gonna deny what I'm starting to feel now. Like when I see them come in my presence, man, and I notice how they act towards white people, I just look at them and I'm like, I gotta be very careful to avoid them. You know what I'm saying? I try to avoid certain interactions with American black woman unless she actually qualifies herself to me. So she has to show me that she's quality. You know what I'm saying? But my default position now is becoming more and more that if I'm in the environment with her in any kind of setting with white people around, that she's going to take their side over mine 9 times out of 10. I actually assume that now. And I feel good about it because before I would have just thought, well, it's two black people. Let's look out for each other. But now I feel like as a black man, you are on your own.
Yeah.
Even with other black
Absolutely.
men, you got to be careful. But specifically as a black man, my approach to the professional world is that I'm on my own until other people prove otherwise to me. I focus on my money. I focus on my goals and let other people show me that they're worthy of cooperation. Otherwise, I'd rather just keep to myself when I'm in their presence, man.
I wanted to add something real quick to what Man of Tomorrow was saying, and shout out to you, brother. I appreciate your content. What I find interesting is that, and I was going to make a live stream on this on my channel to explore this more, but I find that, so now we have like a lot of interns, right? Like 20, 21-year-old, whatever, they're young, they're out of college, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you have a lot of these females who are of the non-black variety. They might be like Hapa girls, or they might be, white and Hispanic, or, they might be some sort of exotic mix or something. But you've got these very pretty, high-powered girls that are coming in. And they are basically like not tolerating the daggledom. I mean, I've seen some of these girls put the daggle in their place. And it's like interesting to watch the dynamic, because I think maybe back in the day, like, I'm a Gen Xer, so maybe, the females, especially like the white females of my age or whatever, maybe they would defer to them on some level. Maybe they felt like, I don't want to be called a racist or whatever, but these younger hybrid girls, as I'm calling them, they bars none. I mean, they will go head to head with the daggle with no shame and no fear and no regret. I just find it to be a very interesting phenomenon.
Well, you see that a lot with these beat downs and these hair salons now. You see it.
Yeah.
I saw one, I think it was in Chicago. Kid Organic, he does a lot of these kind of videos, and he had one where the Asian dude and the women was in the fight. And then you had the Pittsburgh situation where the white chick just stood there the whole time, didn't move, didn't blink, while the black women and the Arabs went at it. And I'm seeing a lot of these videos where the women either are just watching with no fear of the consequence because they know that those dudes are going to defend the situation, or they're jumping in and getting their licks in. So I don't see why these chicks feel like they're winning when the rest of society is looking more and more at them as the losers. Just like with what happened with Kamala Harris. She thought that she was going to be able to play that same card, and now she's at 1% in the polls.
Yeah.
She can't even hold her own state anymore, and she's one more debate away from having to drop out. They've been trying to play this black girl magic, but the rest of society ain't feeling that shit, man.
They're not. And, what's funny to me is that kind of like this whole tweet situation, right? I mean, some of these, Indian, Chinese, Japanese women in corporate America, for example, they know absolutely, and you can tell just by looking at them, they know that they're better. Like either they have better education, or they dress better, they look better, their hair is on point, you can tell like in their interactions, they're just kind of like looking down at their nose at them like, be gone, get out of my presence. I just find it to be the weirdest.
You know what makes that doubly weird though? Here's what makes what you're saying so that brings it home for me. The same women that now no longer want to be in the presence of the succubus are the same women that played her like so good over the last 3 generations. Yeah. They use the black woman to support programs that would help their immigrant group rise up in the ranks. Now that Latinas are the number one population, the Latins are of minorities, and then you got all these Asians that have come in. They were smart when it was useful to use the American black woman for their political ends. They played the mute role, the docile role with them. But now that they see that they use that program to benefit themselves, and now that they're at the forefront, they're ready to cast those chicks to the side completely by next year. I keep telling people, mark my words, November 7, 2020, just mark my words. That will be the day that the American black woman at large realizes the fucking fatal mistake that she made over these last few generations. It's going to be on that day that she realizes that shit, because she's been getting so many pats on the head, pats on the back, discounts on hair hats and shit like that for so long that it went to her head, not knowing that these people were playing 3D and 4D chess with her ass. And her wake up call, these beatings, these are just like the tip of the iceberg. I feel I get a sense that these public beatings that these people are doing, they don't even care if a camera's there. They know the cameras and they still beating these chicks down, right? So eventually the real truth is going to come out. And I think that the next phase is like what you're seeing, where you're saying that these women are getting, they're not getting selected at work. Because why do you think that the liberal intersectionalists push this whole idea of people of color so hard? Because remember, as long as the designations are black, white, Latino, and shit like that, they have to be careful in how they do their hiring practices to meet certain quotas in certain states, right? But when you say people of color, now you've condensed all the non-whites into one group, and you can just choose your preferred minority, because it don't matter, because you only have one standard, people of color. So even though black or whatever is all different, if everyone is people of color, right, you can just pick from the ones that you like the best, the Asians, the Latinas, and the biracials, and you don't even have to go to the black, because there's no designation as black anymore. You have people of color. Now, that was a program that the American black liberal woman supported. Black men ain't supported this intersectionalist shit. We're the victims of intersectionality, man.
Yeah. King Sigma, check this out. Check this out, though. So while we're seeing the numbers of black women in the corporate world dropping, there was a study that Kitty Jones, you just did a while back, or one of the brothers did a while back, where the number of brothers in the upper class is increasing. Now, make that make sense.
Yep,
make that make sense. Sit up here. The black woman has been the watchdog for the corporate world for many years. And brothers, we already know that affirmative action didn't do us any help. We already know that. Yet right now, as black women are starting to lose their place in the corporate world, black men are moving up. And we're doing this without black women. Yep. So I'm trying to figure out.
No, you got it right.
If you're going to hate us for being black men, you really have to be one of the dumbest group of women on the planet, because other women see what's going on and they're playing their cards right. They're playing the long game. They are playing the long game. So at this point, when black women realize, whenever that do happen, that they messed up, it's too late.
It's too late.
You know how they got all these shows that they coming out with the black woman and the white dude? Look at what I'm saying, bro. Mark my words. The day after the election, going into that next year, all of those shows are going to get taken off. The same way they got rid of all those black pundits.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how they got rid of all those black pundits in 2016, the moment that Donald Trump
got elected?
When he got elected, all those corporations fired all their black pundits and analysts. Now you notice, you see this uptick in these shows and these movies. One of my favorite movies that I liked, right? You ever heard of Watchmen?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, they got on HBO. They got a series coming out next week called Watchmen, based on the comic book, right? Guess who they put as the lead role? Regina King.
Oh,
no,
bro! Regina King is playing the main character in the Watchmen, bro. Then you got a black Bond. I mean, this shit is all political, bro. Like they pushing it. They are going into overdrive this year, man. They're gonna push
Sigma
hard, man.
Okay, Sigma, one exception. This woman's never gonna learn a lesson, man. You're way too optimistic, because guess what? Even if she do learn a lesson, I'm still not taking her ass seriously. lesson or no lesson learned. I'm like the emperor at the end of Jet Li Hero. Okay, you may apologize and all that shit, but you gonna catch all them arrows though.
Man, I'm just saying that I think that the wake up call. I don't know if they'll learn, but it's gonna be hard.
They'll never learn.
It's gonna be hard to fight the reality when you got them stacked up in a crib 5 to 6 deep, grown women. That's gonna be a hard reality to ignore. They won't learn, but they will reflect. So I'm not asking for them to change their ways at all. But
you have that in the South right now, King Sigma.
In the South,
all those 60-some-year-old women who are kicked off welfare because most of them haven't bridged the gap to come to their Social Security and Medicare. So now they're just 5 and 6 in an apartment, old ass fucking women who's trying to go out and fuck young dudes and get pregnant. Hell yeah, man, it's just going on all over the South right now.
And they don't even talk about that. In fact, what's interesting about the point that stands out to me, I don't know how many of you in the audience and on the panel paid attention when Secretary of HUD, Dr. Ben Carson, was being interviewed, man. And he was talking about how when he took over HUD, that Barack Obama and the Democrats had put all these policies in place that was giving preferential housing to illegal immigrants. And he said, this is totally unfair to Americans that you guys have put all these illegal immigrants in front of the line while you got homeless black men, specifically in black boys, because men make up 8 out of 10 homeless, and black people, black men and black boys make up like 7 of the 10 men. So it's just fucked up, right? And so he was saying that all these illegal immigrants was getting preferential treatment in affordable housing, Section 8 vouchers or whatever. So he got rid of the program. Man, them Democrats, when he went up there on Capitol Hill, they were at him, calling him every name in the book, attacking him. And you had black American women legislatures fighting for programs that was obviously harming black. And he made that point. He said, I think it's interesting that New York City has one of the highest homeless population rates amongst black people, but yet here y'all are attacking me for ending a program that puts immigrants before them. This is how chaotic and crazy this shit has gotten, that it don't even, they support policies openly in the face of black people that are actually against their own self-interest.
Well, you know, that's not the only problem. That's not the only problem. Disabled war veterans get skipped over too by immigrants. They do it in Colorado. They do it in Denver all the time. All you have to do is claim domestic violence, and then her husband left her. Boom, she goes to the head of the line.
I saw that conversation that you had with Mike Venom, where you guys were talking about the mobile, them turning garbage cans into mini homes, bro. I saw that.
Sure.
That was, man. I'm just like, the stuff is. It's almost like being a person looking at a train wreck in slow motion. I mean, like I'm talking about like it's in complete slow motion, but you're just watching it, and you look. It's so slow in the motion, but you're able to move side to side. And you wonder, am I the only one that see this shit?
This is why people who are smart are down south looking at plots of land and looking at how to put pre-manufactured housing on it like I'm doing. People who are smart, they're going to see this problem, and they're about to cash in huge once this thing drops. So, yeah.
Well, you know, one of the brothers was mentioning the whole Regina King thing. And you know what stood out to me, man. So you guys saw that Watchmen movie. That was real good superhero kind of movie. You know, I like the ones that are gritty, like the Joker, Batman Begins, Underworld, Blade. I like the gritty ones. Now, how did you go from Watchmen being this gritty, you know, male-focused characters to Regina King is now going to play the main character in Watchmen on HBO? I mean,
bro, that's transhumanism.
Like, I'm not hearing nothing about black men getting these roles. So you got movies that are marketed to men. When they put the female in a role, they flop at the office. But it's almost like they don't even think, well, we should put a black man in the role first. If we're going to take the white man out and it's marketed to men, maybe we should put a black man in these roles. No. We're going to put this black woman in there. I mean, you just can't make this shit up, bro. When I saw the trailer, I was like, Hollywood don't even care about money no more. It's not about the money because they tried to destroy the Joker. Joker broke all the records. They try to destroy certain movies. They break the records. Then you got a movie like that, Dark Phoenix. They pumped that shit hard. We need to get this Dark Phoenix. That shit was the biggest superhero flop in history, bro. In history. And they pumped it so hard, all because of this feminist drive, man. It's just so strange, and it's like the American black woman is caught in the tug, and she's taking the side of the people that are working against her interests, and she's smiling while doing it. She's eating this shit up about them patting her on the back, telling her that she's so great. We're gonna put you in this movie. We're gonna put you on this magazine. They got fat black women on billboards now in thongs, and black women is clapping for this shit, bro. I'm talking about they got a this fat black female rapper is on a big ass fucking billboard in Times Square. And I'm not talking about fat like over, I'm talking like 300-pound, 5'5" rolls coming. I mean, and these black women is clapping this shit, bro.
Now, I want to point out that Malin, Mayuko, and Maria, the vast majority of them would never be caught dead participating in any of that. And they would vigorously deny that they had anything to do with that. I mean, yeah, you got your, SJW, waggle-minded females out there, but the vast majority of them are not down for that. I mean, you're not going to have all these women co-sign like you see the Daggle do.
Well, I think it's because one of the things I've mentioned in this space before is that we overlook the fact that this feminism thing comes in waves. And the American black woman is in the fourth wave. She's closer to what's going. She's in the wave that's more representative of what's going on in those socialist countries in Europe, whereas the American white woman stopped at third wave, which is why they voted for Trump. They saw that the misandry stage is not compatible with them being the dominant group in America. So they said, we ain't going. We saw what the black woman did. She's like in fourth or fifth wave. We're gonna stop right here at third wave. And that's why the American black feminist was so pissed, because she realizes that she's given up everything of value to a human being. Long-term happiness, family, a culture that can protect you, a culture that can nurture the next generation. She gave all that shit up, all for a pat on the head. And that's why white women voted nearly 58% or something like that for Donald Trump. And I actually think because of the success that he's had with the economy and, pulling America out of certain wars and shit, despite the impeachment, I think he's going to get more of the white woman vote. He already was getting.
Oh, yeah, he's going to win, no doubt.
Yeah, he was already 73% of the white male vote, but I actually think the white male vote will be more closer to like 80%, and the white female vote will be around 65%, because they like what he's doing for them. You know what I mean? And so when she looks up after the next election, because like I said, man, they feel like he's going to lose. I put it at 60-40 today that he'll win, but it looks like he's going to win. And I think they're going to be shook, because at that point, they're going to get discarded as a group, because they brought in so many of these immigrants at this point. They're not important anymore, because one role they couldn't keep up with. They had one job. And their job was to keep black men in check, and they fucking failed, man. They had one mission, one program: keep these black men in fucking line and keep them voting at a 95% clip like y'all. And black men said enough is enough. And that's why they're about to get fired, because they had one fucking job: keep them black men in line, keep them black men voting Democrat for the next 40 years. And black men over the last 5 years said, I'm cool, I'm out. And that's where they're going to be looking at on November 8th, 2020. They're going to be looking dumb. Because notice how in these debates, I done watched every one of these Democratic debates, bro. Do you realize they haven't mentioned the term and the phrase black men not one time?
No, they won't, because if you look at like who's registered, right? Like the number, and I looked at this the other day, the number of registered Daggle females is like 2-3 million more than the brothers. And then, when you talk about like who voted in 2016, again, the Daggle voted way more than the Ebony Man did. So it's no wonder that the Daggle Crab Party is, they say all the time that the Daggle is the backbone of the party. I mean, I'm with you. They never talk about Ebony Men ever.
They will not mention us at all, man. It's very weird. The next debate, because I watched them for research purposes only, like I don't really follow the day-to-day politics, but I will watch the debates just to see what they are making the topic of the debate and what they are putting at the forefront of the discussion. And I just noticed like they never ever mention the black male voter, bro. Even they accept that we're done with them. They accept it because they know that at this point we see through their bullshit. We see that their policies have destroyed Black America. And here's what's really deep about it. They can't. You ever notice that you never hear them even speak about fixing issues that relate to the Black majority? Because they know in order to fix the problems that are plaguing the Black majority, they have to deal with that Black woman. So they know that they can't talk. So they can't talk about any problems that relate to Black people because then they would be on the wrong side of the Black woman. So that's why eventually they're going to use benign neglect policy on Black women moving forward. Mark my words. They're just going to write them out of their party slowly but surely. Mark my words on that.
I mean, it like you mentioned earlier, like let's take the new Bond. I mean, that is a very manly looking woman. And I'm like, okay, so you're basically uplifting the Daggle to be the face of masculinity. I mean, it's a laughing stock. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, they
no Denzel, no Will Smith, no Michael B. Jordan, no Boris Cope, nothing.
Nothing.
Get right to that.
Well, wow, that a lot of the American Black women canceled Idris Elba, right? He got canceled. They've been canceled Michael Jordan, but they say they canceled Idris Elba now because he didn't marry an ADOS woman. Since he married an African woman of the diaspora, apparently they canceled him. That's what K. Michelle.
But here's the thing, those fellas don't care because they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and they still get money. So True. Who cares if Black women say we're gonna cancel them and such? They probably thinking to themselves like, okay, one group of women don't like me, but I got a multitude of women on this other end who love me. So who's losing?
Man, I think it's just like a little delusion that they tell themselves, bro. Like I said, I think
the dude's from England. He's not even American. All right.
Well, he's actually a British Nigerian, I believe, man. He's British Nigerian. So that's what I mean. This is how these women are literally insane. Idris Elba is a British Nigerian, bro. And they say we're going to cancel him because he married a Somalian Canadian woman, bro. Because I looked at some of the threads when he announced he was getting married. Oh, man, these women, you know how they say that Black women are the most unprotected women and all this shit they be saying? I've come to believe that nobody hates the Black woman more than the Black woman hates herself, man.
I mean, clearly.
Come to that conclusion.
Well, maybe they hate us more, but
I think they hate us more, bro. I think that with us, they hate us, no doubt. But I really believe that their hatred for themselves is much greater than even for us because they know that they can only control enough Black men. They can only control Black men to the extent that Black men place a high value on that box. Outside of that, they know they have no control, and in their own reality, they're seeing that a lot of Black men is like, yo, that shit ain't even worth anything more than a smash and dash. And so I think that their hatred for themselves is much stronger than it is even for us, man. I'm really starting to believe that, bro.
Well,
no, it's kind of only because they can't get anything out of it. And they're not truly benefiting off of it. Other than sex with Black men, which they don't value at all. Nope. Right now, anyway.
Yeah, they don't value that at all. I mean, brothers fool themselves into thinking that they do, but these chicks don't care about that shit, man. The same dude that she fucking today, she'll be right there with that white judge telling him that this dude put hands on me. Lock his ass up, man. But yeah,
worst case scenario.
I appreciate you guys coming through, man. I'm gonna do the final round. I'd like to know, your closing statements on what you thought about that Twitter thread and just the degree of the white male worship and anything else you might want to say before we get off, man. Starting with MOT.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Shout out to the panel. Good talk. I don't think I've ever had this or been a part of this specific discussion or even heard this specific discussion, even discussed like this openly before. But it is a problem.
I've
It
never
is
had
a problem.
either, to be honest with you. I never even thought I would have a panel like this. But when I saw that on Sir Trix's timeline, I had to say something because I had just listened to David Carroll, and I don't know if you subscribe to his rabbit hole, MOT, but you should. You should hit up David Carroll and ask him for his rabbit hole video from today. Whew. You need to check that one out. His R-rated take on that Amber Geiger case, man. You should check it out.
Yeah, and yeah, I definitely will. But yeah, man. But thanks for having me on, and shout out to the panel. Peace.
Well, appreciate you, MOT, man. Y'all go check out Man of Tomorrow's channel. He is a men's rights activist, entrepreneur, and anti-dating coach. He don't play around when it comes to black redneck culture. I'll just say that. So just go check out his content and you'll see what I'm saying. Up next, Kira, you up next.
Yeah, piece of the panel rather, piece of the chat. And I mean, what we witnessed tonight is not new. This has deep historical roots. This has been going on for centuries. There's a lot of books and memoirs about what happened during the antebellum period and the post-Civil War period that talks about this. One glaring example, the brother J.A. Rogers wrote in his book, Sex and Race, Volume 2. He talked about how basically, you know, the newly freed ex-slave women threw themselves at the white Union soldiers in a very shameless manner. So, I mean, this has been going on for centuries. But, you know, what I want to say is this: you should never base your decisions on happiness, on finance, on relationships. You should never base your opinions or your actions based upon what the Daggle says and what the Terminator simp drones have to say, because they are aiding and abetting literal murder, death, destruction, and disharmony. I mean, we can tell even tonight. You witnessed how the evidence was deleted from the record. You know, basically there was a cover up in real time. If that doesn't tell you the deep, abiding hatred that the Daggle has for you, I don't know what else will. Do you be free? Save yourself, black man. EBM, escape black man. Do something different, and I am out.
Hey, thanks for coming on, Kiri, man. Really appreciate you. To the viewers, you know, go to Kiri Gakari Jones' channel. Hopefully, he will put his link in the chat box. But if you really want that SYSBM perspective, he does a lot of the historical aspect. He does a lot of database stuff, and he's a finance guy. So, you know, go subscribe to him, support what he's doing, and just, you know, hear his perspective, man. He has a very global perspective on things. So, you know, appreciate you coming through, Kiri. Let me see. We got Sigma Jones. You're up next. I saw that Pharaoh dropped off, but Pharaoh, thanks for jumping on, man, while you were on. Got to get you on a future one. Sigma Jones, you are up next.
Honestly, what more can be said? The evidence was laid out in front for everybody to see. So any brother who denies what they see, that's on them. Because stuff like this is why technology has been a good weapon for thinking brothers. Because we don't need to try to bicker and argue with some of these folks who want to play blind rats and everything. All we have to do is just bring the evidence, set it on their lap, and just tell them, explain this to me. And if they come with ad hominem attacks or trying to talk things down, that pretty much confirms to you and to anybody else on your side that you won your case. And now you're free to move on. In the words of Southwest Airlines, you're free to move about the country. So this is one of the reasons why I'm starting to preach eugenics. And for thinking brothers who think on eugenics, you could do that by walking away. You know, keep your seed to yourself, or you find a quality Stargate who will be more than happy to have your seed and raise them up in a proper manner. That's what eugenics is, cleansing the race. And for a lot of thinking brothers, this is the only way we can go about it to help the image of black men I don't care about the image of black people and everything. As far as the image for black men, we can control our image. This will be the way to go. So, in any case, in fact, I was just watching a commercial of some show on ABC called Stumptown. The lead actor, a white woman, I guess her love interest is a brother. So it's already showing that our image is starting to take hold. So, fellas, be about your business. Do what you got to do. Don't let anybody try to talk you down thinking you're doing something wrong. As long as you focus on yourself, do what's right for you, deal with people who want to deal with you, you be cool. So, fellas, at the end of the day, the only person you could save is yourself. I'm good for today. Thanks, King Sigma.
Hey man, Sigma.
Yeah, okay, so
Okay, I'll come right back to you. Just hold on 1 second. Hey, thanks for coming on, Sigma Jones. You can find Sigma Jones' channel on Black Avenger. He does a lot of the historical things related to like how Black people got to this place, a lot of the blind spots. Right now, he's doing a series on eugenics on his channel. He also is really big into the SYSBM ideology and philosophy. So, you can go check him out on Black Avenger as well. Definitely appreciate him coming on. You got the mic, MOT.
yeah, we're calling them Bebop and Rocksteady from now on, man.
Yeah, I did.
We're not calling-
I saw that video that you uploaded. That was funny. That brought me back to my childhood, man. I used to have all those little figurines back in the day from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. That was funny as hell.
I mean, man, but that's exactly how the Dago talks to them on the panels that they be on. Like, how Shredder was addressing Bebop and Rocksteady, that's exactly how they being addressed. And they see nothing wrong with it. So crazy.
Well,
But that's it, man.
It's a deep fear that they have, man. I've peeped game now, and I realize that it's one of those things that for a while that they've been able to like avoid confronting the truth, but now it's like they can't ignore, their matriarchal lore anymore because it's all coming back to that, and they've been trying and ducking, dodging, and trying to create distractions and trying to influence us fighting with each other. But we've already had all the wars now. We've had the classic man versus the black redneck thing. We've had the select guy, non-select ongoing right now. We've had the black men versus the black woman, American woman thing. That is all old now. It doesn't need to be repeated. Now we're in the phase where they have to deal with their own consequences of the decision. So I'm kind of looking forward to like sitting back and watching the Hoteps go at the black rednecks, and then watching the black rednecks, Keisha and Pookie go at each other, and with Bebop and Rocksteady. So I'm actually sitting back looking forward to the good black women out there actually standing up to the mammies and the white male worshipers, because right now they dragging them all down the hell with them right now, man. So eventually the war of the unicorns, I think that's gonna be the climax of all these little battles that's been fought over the last decade, is the war of the unicorns, because the American black women that really are supportive, that really do want to like see this shit get right, they have been standing on the sidelines, twiddling their thumbs and not saying anything. And their moment of truth is right around the corner as well. So I know you women are out there and you be watching us have these conversations, watching us dig into the data, the arguments, and y'all just like to sit on the sidelines. But y'all moment is coming where y'all gonna have to show what y'all made of soon. Because these toxic women amongst your ranks, they are dragging y'all to the complete bottom. And I'm not talking about a bottom where you're gonna be able to get out of it in 10 years or no shit like that. They're dragging y'all to becoming a permanent concubine welfare state class that y'all may not be able to get out of ever again. So that's just my thought on that, man. Those days are coming, because I see these Hoteps come to this space all the time. They get hammered, get their ass kicked, and I mean, at a certain point, either they just give up trying to convert the men over here, or they get absorbed into the ranks themselves. But they definitely not going to convert anybody in this space. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So that's where I stand on that.
There's going to be a regressive war, a war between the regressives, because they can't really pick fights with us anymore because we don't care about them. We've already moved on.
Exactly.
So the only thing they're going to be able to do is fight amongst and with each other.
Yep.
So look forward to that happening all the time.
Yep.
So.
See, I think that's what's next. Because I'm noticing that a lot of the bigger channels of Hoteps, they're slowly focusing more on these black feminists, on these white male worshipers, on these degenerate black men. I'm seeing it. I'm noticing that our talking points are starting to run parallel. The larger Hotep channels and the black male YouTube free thinking brothers, our talking points are slowly starting to converge with each other. And that does not bode well for the white male worshipers, the so-called black feminists, and the bebop and rocksteady group. They time is coming up, because once you got those large-scale Hoteps having the same talking points as us from their side of the coin, it's a wrap for these people, man. They know their time is coming to an end, and they're going to turn each other, like you just said. They're going to straight cannibalize each other, and I think it's going to come. We're about 12 months away, but their time for cannibalizing each other is coming soon. But you got any other last thought, MOT?
That's it, man. Thanks for having me on. And I'm telling people, drop the information, walk away. Our job is to make sure that we create this concrete barrier of information to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because nothing's inside your head. You're saying all the same stuff that everybody else is saying. It's just that we just have the guts to come out and say it. So that's all I got. Thanks for having me on.
You have a good night, MOT. Are you doing an upload tonight or tomorrow? When can they catch your next upload?
Probably tomorrow morning.
Okay, well, y'all check out MOT. He's on like his own personal jihad. Go check him out and support that brother, because he's one of the few people that's out here saying exactly what people don't want to be said, unabashedly. So with that said, I appreciate you all. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you learned something tonight. Hopefully you have something to ponder. My whole thing is about putting out the information. I'm not into the thinking for people. You come to your own conclusions about what you saw tonight. And you guys have a good night, and hopefully you'll have a real profitable and productive Tuesday. And I'll talk to you all next time. Peace.